Hello, Ella. Congratulations on actually getting first. For realsies. Now I go back to sitting around for 2 minutes while ads do their thing. False news. Alright, fake. Fake. You have not been real for 16 times. Lies. Alrighty. Now that ads are done, I can start yapping. I mean, I could have yapped while ads were going on, but you know, nah. That's my that 5 minutes of weird stream time where like the ads haven't started yet, and then they auto start after a minute. But they actually, this is the thing, they don't actually. It says they auto start after a minute, but realistically, they auto start after 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And so it's like, well, we got like a whole 5 to 6 minute period where I'm just like, I'm just gonna use that to just chill. I'm just gonna chill. But anyways, we're back in Esoteric Ebb. If I remember correctly last time, I save scummed because I'm a little loser. I'm a little loser who wanted to do things in the correct order. And so, yeah. I'm going to talk to my best friend and roommate, Etir. Hello, Etir. I need to behold you. Please don't fuck me over this time. 18! Wait, I get +1 in strength now? That's crazy. They grow up so fast. I'm so strong. She follows orders, the type of orders that grant eternal fulfillment. There is a sadness in her existence. Broken wings, stuck among lesser beings. What does she seek? My favorite character. Cleric. She's still working on detailed notes. Her hail is spinning slowly around her. Okay, well, nothing new. So, I don't know if she comes down below, if we go down below during the day. So I'm going to go check and see if we can go. Excuse chat, remember, we gained our magical. Oh, the little devil guy here. I'll talk to him in a bit. Remember that we have like magical teleportation powers now. We're kind of like the coolest people on Earth who are able to do that because I'm just so cool like that. You know me? Like, who doesn't have magical pillar teleportation powers? It'd be kind of pathetic if you didn't. But anyways, chat. Enough about the game, all right? Now we got to talk about me, all right? The most important person in the room, obviously. Oh, Etir does come. Oh, is this a cutscene? No. Okay, well, I didn't get Snell. Wait, I thought it said that Etir doesn't follow you, or like only follows you if you have 3 people. But I only have 2. I am confused. I am very confused. Oh well. But good to know that she does come down here now, so we could do this. But first, I want to do some other things. And by other things, I mean, I don't actually know if I have other things. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I was kind of lying there. Yeah, I don't really have any other things to do. Oh yeah, but I was gonna say, what is going on? Oh, okay, another cutscene thingy to teleport. I had a terrible thing happen to me today, chat, okay? I was looking around my apartment. I was like, you know what? I need to rearrange my desk. I was like, because you see, this is the problem, is my desk is in like the darkest part of the room. And I can't enjoy this lovely, lovely sunlight while it lasts, a hot commodity, some might say. And so I thought, you know what, K-Tag, I'll go ahead and try and find a good spot to put the desk. There really isn't. There really isn't a better spot is the problem. There's like maybe one way I could maybe make it work, but there isn't. And I'm just like, all right, do I dare try to... Here, 1 second, I want to behold. Do I dare try to, like, move things around to the second potential spot and then hope it actually works? Because I swear to God, if it doesn't work and I like move everything around, I'm gonna crash out, okay? Or do I just live as I am right now and just accept that this is my fate? I'm sure Etir is too if we head down again. Okay. Etir will join your party in the Undercoast Path. Okay. I'm gonna talk to some of the other people around here. I want to talk to the little devil guy because I haven't been able to like talk to him in quite some time. Ooh, new thing I can learn. She is focused on her work, but she does not seek strife. She will help you if you do not pose a threat. Is there anything new I can tell you about? Did I learn anything about the mushroom people that I can talk to her about? Nope, not really. Not at all. Okay, back to doing other places. Hello, Lins. Do it because you will be thinking about it if not. The only thing you have to lose is your sanity, and it wouldn't be the first. Okay, wow. Okay, I'll have you know I have plenty of sanity left. Okay, thank you very much. You'll know when my sanity is finally like reached 0 when I start going like, Also, wait, wasn't the devil like over here earlier, or did they move in like the brief bit of time I was talking to people? I'm so confused. One second, I need to. Unless is it a different devil? Is it some other guy? No. Oh wait, no, there is one over here. Wait a second. What the fuck? Hold on a minute. What's this guy's deal? What's up with that? I know this is why I'm attacking it, because I envy. Hello, but let's see. Somehow you just know this devil would gladly organize a mass genocide against non-humans in this city. Interesting character fact, okay. But yes, hi. There's a lot of things I had the thought of doing today, but I decided, you know what? I should probably work on finishing up Esoteric Ebb. I needed to not do an Esoteric Ebb stream yesterday, though, because I needed to, like, I needed a reset, you know? But now we're fully recharged and ready to go back into the full yapping. What does the law have to say about really powerful magic items? Like what? Generally speaking, magic items are classified under the same stuff as regular spells. That is, cantrip tier effects are free to use. Low tier magic, 1st to 3rd level, requires affiliations with certain groups or city licenses. There's obviously a gray zone since some magic spells can't be easily aligned with a spell tier. But the city usually looks the other way for anything that doesn't actively disrupt the peace. Ask him other stuff first and then segue into the necklace question. Jokes aside, do it. It's good to rearrange things. But I don't want to move everything. It's gonna suck, Linz. I have to move the entire computer desk and everything on it. That's gonna fucking suck. What about magical weapons? I mean, Norvik is pretty libertarian on the weapons front, at least compared to some cities around the coast. Be lazy then? I will, Linz. I know citizens can get licenses for magical family heirlooms, you know. My grandpa killed a troll with his axe, and now it makes you bleed green and cut down trees in a single chop type thing. Like I said, the city usually looks the other way, even if the law does say you're not allowed to wield any of the really wild shit. I see, I gotta figure out how to break the law. What about potions? Ah yes, that's a great question. A potion is defined as any consumable object capable of granting a magical effect upon the consumer. They are technically magic items as well, however, but what? Ow. Ow. It's not very nice. It's not very nice at all, Ella. Kays, where's your other redeems? What do you mean? Where's your cards? Those don't even exist yet. I mentioned it once that I'm working on it, and all of a sudden you want it right away? All right, that's it. I'm never mentioning my work in progresses ever again. I don't do anything off stream, chat. You don't know anything anymore. Unlike certain city-states, Norvik does have a list of approved potions. Stuff like Vergeni River Blood, or whatever it's called, or those non-alcoholic ales that make you confident. It's hypocritical in a sense, in another more economical sense, it's genius. Norvik has become a home for mass production of potions over the last decade, ever since that list was made. Ever wonder why there's so many hags in Norvik? And that's why. Okay, what about a necklace of fireballs? Ah, a famous magic item, or infamous. Just to be clear, he says, clearing his throat, I'm not in any way connected to the imp that started the Coast War. But man, did that guy stir some shit. Legendary shit. He used an NOF when he blew up that airship, you know, for the assassination of Priestess Alona, that I'm sure you read about in school. Oh, NOF is what we in the business call necklace of fireballs. Lots of places and reads have specific laws regarding NOFs. Arcanists left a ton behind after the war. Do I need to write you the card streamer about script? No, you don't, Ella. You don't get it. It's not the script that's the hard part. That's the easy part. The hard part is fucking drawing it all. Whenever a cache is uncovered, you inevitably get a bunch of NOF circulating the coast. How rare would a fully stocked NOF be? He laughs, letting out a slow and insidious sound. Very. I'm sure 1 or 2 9-beaded NOFs have circulated the coast in the past years. In the early Arcane era, I'm sure some wizards made fully stocked NOFs. But it's not very practical, is it? The mass-produced ones you'd find on artillery corps or flight bombers? They usually got 3 to 6 beads. You don't believe me? Mr. didn't like my rotation script, so he cheesed one? Well, you see, Ella, I also just kind of like making it myself, so, that's just how it is. I mean, if it makes you feel better, you can, like, write the script, and I'll, like, take it, and then I'll just, like, throw it in the pit and say, oh, I don't know where it went. Let's see. Is there any case of a 9-beaded NOF being used? He looks away and thinks for a bit. I know NOFs were used in acts of terrorism in the wake of the Pre-Strider Rebellion. Also, Ella, hold on a second, hold on. You don't get to do this to me, alright? When's the last time you added something new to your stream, What do you think? Do you have any answers there, bud? Nothing, that's what I thought. No response. But I can't tell you a single documented case where a fully stocked NOF has been confirmed. It's not very practical, is it? The difference between 3 or 4 beads exploding and 9 is negligible. Human flesh and even iron, it'll melt either way, so the size of the explosion won't increase with more beads. Only the heat increases, unless you just desperately want to melt, I don't know, adamantine? No reason to trigger them all at the same time. What laws does Norvik have about NOFs? None. They're not too common in Ascan. They're covered under the normal magical item clauses. They're strictly forbidden as high-tier magic, even if technically... He loves that word. Technically, an NOF with a single bead attached would only act as a 3rd-level spell, which is considered low-tier magic, technically speaking. What spell level would a fully stocked NOF explosion be? 11th? Yeah, ridiculous number. The Arcanist sure did some wacky shit with spells over 9th back in the day. I saw this one guy once, right? He turned his brain into a library with a single spell. Dude, that's kind of crazy, though. What the fuck? Don't ask me how I got invited to that party, but boy, was it weird to watch. Alright, good questions, even better answers, he winks. What does... What? Your most recent addition was an emote a couple weeks ago, and you have done event assets, and you made the animation you'll add in somewhere, and you're working on that Fuki. That's what they always say. That's what they always say, but I have not heard of them. False. I don't believe it. What would the law say about liches in Norvik? He gives you a thoughtful leer. Liches, yeah. There's some history there. Obviously, before the Bone Purge, there used to be a handful of liches hired to manage undead production facilities. That was, what, 15 years ago? After that, the undead, including liches, are not allowed on Norvikian turf. But just between you and me, there are still some undead hanging around. Trust me. The undead must be purged. Yeah, that might be the case. I may or may not know a couple liches. You know how it is. If there was an eldritch aberration hanging about underneath the city, would that be illegal? That's a fun question. Entirely hypothetical, I hope. Sure. Well, let's put it like this. The city of Norvik does not employ any illicit creatures roaming below. K-Tag knows all the liches, I sure do. But ever since the last big CBC, that's the City Below Crusade, there haven't been too many problems, just the occasional pop-up. But hey, if there really is a big monster below, go talk to your patriarch about it. Maybe get another crusade going. Would be fun, eh? I'll think about it. You do you, cleric. Okay, bye, weird little imp dude. Alright, chat. Where do I want to go? I'm gonna check the church real quick, see if there's anything new in here. I don't think there is, though. But maybe I'm wrong. No, not really. Oh yeah, I do want to check the crypt and see if the skull boy has anything new to tell me. Any hot new gossip. Hello? I forgot the skull boy's name. Whatever his face is, you know? Hello, skull boy, where are you? Wait, why are you down here? You're not supposed to be here. The duck? And you don't even look like a duck. This is a true warrior. He's off duty, but whatever duty that is, it's everlasting. He's undead. I kind of figured that, let's be honest. That was kind of obvious. Hello, duck. The Dark Knight stands in the crypt. That's a weird duck? Well, okay, you can't just be insulting a duck like that, just because they look a little bit different. He does not face you. You are no threat to him. Excuse me, His armor creaks, his body moves. A voice. Soldier, well fought. Oh, against the skeleton? Oh yeah, that one. He holds out a gauntlet towards the open tomb. Divinity, hold ground. Feel it. This guy scares the shit out of me, Snell whispers to you. Well, the duck looks like it can kill you. Well, you know, a duck could kill you, IRL, and you never know what they're capable of. Edgelord, the name of a famous death knight in service of the Shadow Lord, also a term used for people who dress up in dark armor and brood a lot. What do you mean? Feel it, soldier. The windy voice barks at you. Okay, I'm feeling it. The string, one of utmost importance. It cradles here within this one point. The first tomb of your god. I grip the string, apparently. What's going on? You do so with decisiveness. There is no question of the sanctity of this place, but you have never understood it well. Something has changed within you. It reminds you of that cantrip you used to cast all the time. Thaumaturgy. Oh, I just get a free cantrip, Pog? I cast it. A power swells within you. Use thaumaturgy to unveil sacred locations around the city. Wait, what? The Dark Knight says nothing more. He simply picks up his axe and leaves. You hear him take the stairs up to the Temple of Earth, leaving you alone in the crypts. Okay. What the fuck? What does this do? Okay. Oh. Yo, I got extra hit points. Pog. Sick. You only apply that to goose or swans. Those are evil. Those are evil. That is real and true. Much agreed. Now let's talk to the skull. Hello, skull. Cleric! So loud. Yeah, that. I thought... Tell me about... Did we already talk about Viskin before? Okay. Yeah, nothing... Something like that. Either way, I decided to kill him and take his place among the mortals of Norvik. A couple of magic duels and assassination lamps. I think we already read this one before. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, there's nothing new here. I thought he might have more info, but he's useless to me. You understand nothing, but the duck guy had cool armor. Okay, Linz, I'll give you the spark notes. How about that? So, we're like a detective in Fantasyland, and people died, and we gotta figure out who. And then that guy's like an undead knight, and he's like related to a lich who's pretending to be a mortician who used to be a dentist. And then for some reason my character really likes apples, and we went into the underground land, and our roommate is an angel, literally. I'm working with a goblin. He's my partner. He's kind of like my deputy. Let's see, what else? There's like fireballs involved. There's what else we got here? I'm a wizard, not a cleric. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. There's an election going on, the very first election of all time, apparently. Let's see, what else is going on? I'm not sure what else. I think that pretty much covers most of it, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna behold some people and get more info on them. Yo, 26? That's crazy. He's a jumpy fellow, a survivor. Type of kid that's used to making it on his own. You relate to his fear. The kid doesn't want to end up like his old man, forgotten by time and space in the city. He's grieving, but he's keeping it together for his brother. They both have ways of dealing with it. Arn will grow up to be a great capitalist. Wow. What a great young capitalist. That's one way of putting it. All right, behold. I'm beholding. I already know everything about you. I already know your whole deal. All right, what can I buy from you? What kind of wares you got, boss? Empty. How much money do I have again? I think I'm like stupid rich, right? So I will take... 1 second. Hold. hold 1 second, chat. How rich am I? I got $1,000. Yo, $1,000 are nice, but I could buy like so many potions with that. Just think about how many potions I could buy, chat. It would be crazy. Like, look, if I go over here, oh, I can't talk to them at daytime. God damn it. I want to buy my shady potions. What the fuck? Is a man not allowed to buy shady potions in the middle of the day? What happened to this city? I thought I was able to do this. I thought this was Norvik. I thought this was Norvik. Oh, I just realized my headset's low on battery. I should probably swap that out. We're rich in this medieval economy? That's what I'm saying. Well, you see, Linz, what happened is we saved a rich corporate heir, and then he gave us a bunch of money for saving him. So yeah, you know how it is. I'm kind of like a master of the art of the deal. Let's go ahead and okay, I'm gonna be right back, chat, because I need to swap out my headset. So, BRB. All right, chat. I think I should be back. Let me just set this up properly so I can hear myself. It's so good, so good. Yeah, I did a big fool mistake where I completely forgot to. See, usually I swap out one of my headsets before I start stream, but I forgot to do that today. So hear yourself, we hear the voices. Yeah, I have when I stream, or actually even when I'm not streaming, I have my audio stuff set up such that I can hear my feedback. That way I can like tell how loud I am or if I'm muted. And so that's how I avoid streaming without accidentally being muted, usually. That's my master plan. One of K-Tech's pro tips. And then you no longer become cringe by your own voice because you've listened to it for God knows how long. For so freaking long. I'm gonna see if the one dude's here though. You are so smart. I am so smart. Of course I am. I'm pure genius. Hello, Vera. How's it going? Wow, I rolled a 4. What the fuck? Why am I never able to roll high when I'm talking to you? What the fuck? Take it back? Nah, you can't take it back. Spoke with Elisa. Wait, what is going on with this? Charm. Oh, I don't want a charm person. That's a good idea. That's a bad idea. Yo, Vera, I met Meriadoc Moonwatch downstairs. And where was he? You're not shocked? No. Where? All the way down on Under Hollow Ridge. He was captured by a troll. I guess this is just another average day in the Free Strider people land. She groans, walking over to the desk. Of course he was. He's in one piece, I take it? He was smiling when I got him out of that cage? Of course he was. You see, our dear Moonwatch Prince came to visit us a few days ago. He journeyed for the election, yes, but from what I understand, it was also to seek out the ruins below the city for his research. No wonder he ended up in trouble. Here, for your service to the revolution, 320 more bucks! It's that easy, shit! Oh, let's keep this on the down low, shall we? She opens her mouth and thinks for a moment before clarifying. That means, do not talk about how one of the most prestigious celebrities almost got eaten by a troll, okay? Got it. Okay, boss. I'll be quiet. I'll shut the fuck up. Good. A grin and waltz towards you later, and the orc leans in near your helmed face. Now tell me, did you actually fight the troll? No, I kind of got my ass beat, if we're being honest. I kind of just kept getting fucking slapped around, and then Atir saved my ass. The goblin lets out a sigh. It was almost a slaughter, but I got lucky in the end. No, we also happened to have an angel as backup. That helped. Oh my, the Coin Lord's bodyguard. You managed to bring her all the way down there? Yes, I was too charming for her to... I'm just so charming. So fucking charming. So we just give gossips about people and we get money? Yeah, that's exactly how it works, Linz. It's that simple, really. I feel like I gotta say the too charming because I think that's just so stupid. Yes, it's because I'm just so convincing. No, we'll say she was nice enough to join us. And that's not the Etter I've met. I'm sure you had some effect on her, cleric. A quick laugh, and then she returns to her desk to look over a document. I'll have to speak with Moonwatch about it later, whenever he chooses to grace us with his presence once again. Once more, I must say I am very grateful to have you here, cleric. Thank you. Now, is there anything else the AR can do for you on this fine day? Just let me know. I spoke with Elisa, your hag friend. She drops her empty expression, giving you a relieved sigh. She's a good one. Where was she hiding? It's a secret. She nods. Yes, better if it stays between you two. Good job on locating her. It must have been hard. The charismatic could have been very funny. It could have. It could have been. I hope you found what you were looking for. I did, and I've got questions for you. Don't worry, I'll answer. We sent Lisa to deal with a potential customer of the AR. But luckily, she was not caught in the blast. She wasn't even there. You were meeting to trade an artifact. Do you know what kind? No, they were vague, which usually means it's a scam, but in this case, I think it was possibly a very dangerous item. One the Askani Reeds would want to get their hands on both for monetary reasons, but also in the name of Norvikian safety. Why do you think it was dangerous, though, She gives off a short laugh. Because of what they called it. Whenever someone uses the term artifact instead of magic items, they usually are. Elf is dead. She nods slowly. I suspected as much. Of course, I had no explicit knowledge, so don't think I was trying to hide anything from you, cleric, but I am truly horrified of this outcome. Tell me what you know, then. Fess up. She was an Ilum elf who sold information on her friends. We bought info on the Asgals from her in the past. A treacherous little lynx, and that's the impression I got, never having actually met her. But I'm sure she was very persuasive and charming. Spies usually are. If it were up to me, she would not have gotten close to getting a meeting with our organization, but alas. That's all you know? I'm afraid so. My suggestion is you speak with the Asgals. They should know more if you can get them to swalk. Okay, you know how charming I am. It'll be easy. Of course, cleric. She nods and looks at the watch. The universal sign for can we wrap this up? Okay. I didn't have anything else to ask. This is better than your telenovela. This is just essentially an interactive telenovela, really. It really is, honestly. Yeah, there's this dude who just kind of like is chilling over here. Can I learn more about him? A 17? Born from the strings of fate, the Fate Arrow remnant tyrants smile upon his step. For some very, very, very strange reason, this dwarf, if handed an object with a destiny set in stone, could automatically create phrase chaos madness, a new chance to roll the dice. What? Wait, what? Okay. Interesting. That's you know, I don't know what's going on with that dude. For sure, you just need to romance an NPC and get it in a love triangle, and boom, telenovela. Linz, there have been several points in the game where I've been able to flirt with characters. So, you know, there's that part of it as well. Alright, gotta get the thing from here, I think is what they wanted. On the top box, you see the words Coldridge R Special Cartridge Quill Wells. Bingo! Yes, this is the Inca Modissa asked for. Inside, you see a tightly stacked series of iron cartridges, each marked with a series of numbers. More importantly, there are 3 different colors of inks. Uh-oh. Red, yellow, and green quill well variants. Pick red, of course. Go with yellow, she'll hate it. If there was black, that would be the logical choice. However, since this shipment clearly does not contain any black ink, go with the green one. Yeah, because they're Asgales, that makes sense. It makes the most logical sense being the Asgalist color. Okay. Wait, which one did she want? She did not specify. Logically, she would want a black ink. Okay, well. I didn't have any black ink, just color. What would the color ink turn the paper into that wait. Mixed with the regular ink, it would turn the text into a faint color variety. I guess I'll grab the green. You grab one of the iron cartridges from the crate. There you go, another quest complete. Just need to turn it in now. Okay. You have deprived you from a love triangle plot twist worthy telenovela? How dare you? I'm sorry, Linz. I don't know, you know? You missed out on the first couple. See, you're like joining like on like the penultimate episode of the season. You've missed all the setup. What the? How did I? Oh, I see. I see. This is longer than One Piece. Then this is. I want to say, is this? I don't know how many streams it's been. It's probably been like. This is probably stream like 8 or 9, maybe 7, 8, or 9, somewhere around there. Oh wait, no, the Asgales are over here. I'm dumb. Hold on a moment. Hold, please. Boop, boop, boop. Can I not come into this door? I can't. Damn it. They should really just let me in, just cause, you know? I'm a chill guy. I hold my breath. All right. Let's see. Anything to talk to these people about? Mr. Cityman, you see a throng of dwarves shuffling around inside the tiny apartment. The smell of confined sweat reminds you of the summer you spent as a farmhand on the plantation. Terrible memories. Welcome to the Asgale Sanctuary on Tolstad, for short AST. Hell's bells, it's like they're stacked on top of one another. How can they even breathe in here? Okay, I got questions, bud. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I don't have questions for them. Do you keep holding, boss? Hold the breath forever. Okay. Wait, what? As you enter the sweaty apartment with the ink cartridges in hand, you encounter a rock in a hard place. The rock being a red-faced dwarf and the hard place being the unyielding stubbornness of a teenage girl. You'll ruin a decade's worth of goodwill. The dwarf slaps the newspaper page against his massive forehead. For what? Forehead slapping is a dwarven national pastime. Huh? The girl snatches it from the dwarf's hand. Show me a single thing that's false. I dare you. It's not truth or falsehood that matters, it's the content, the message, it's... La Helvetin. The dwarf mutters to himself, noticing you approach. Mr. Cityman? Am I interrupting something? No. She takes a step towards you and quickly grabs the set of ink cartridges. Look, Alphaz, the cleric just allowed us to reach the entire city. They need to hear this. I got access to the warehouse. It was pretty hard. I had to... Do you know how much the palace would love to see an article like that? Do not put me in a position where I have to tell the foreman to denounce the chant. For folk. Bah. Step in. Solving this conflict will be a good finish to this fetch quest. You guys seem to have a good handle on this. I'm used to it. I'm just trying to... He mutters. Linz, what are you saying? Just say that you hate me? I hate you, Linz. There he goes. Is that what you wanted to say? Me to say? Please don't go. Please don't go. Mr. Cityman, please enlighten us. What does the law say on criminal enticement, specifically in print media? It's a maze of rules. Few of them are well written. Practically, it's always an "it depends." Depends on who enforces it and who gets enforced, really. Ah, then I suppose that gray zone would be a wonderful place to die. Look, Alphonse, look at where we are. I'm in a closet with this goddamn esoteric mess of a machine blowing hot air up my ass. The city already guts us at every turn. The protest at the tower is your PPG problem? That bullshit with the Silkers Guild? They will never work with us. Now's our only chance. We have the people's attention. It's time to drill it into their heads that they have the power here. You're missing the entire picture, girl. She's clearly being unreasonable. Bah. He crosses his arms. You're correct. The people have power here. And we will use that power responsibly by creating lasting, lawful change. If you keep writing about violent revolution, the average person will think you're crazy. And even worse if you push for all this other socio-relation crap. Crap? What is feminism? What is feminism also just an ignorant reworking of Asgal's ideals? No, it's... The dwarf takes a deep breath. You know I am very much in favor for pressing down hierarchies, but to put such a threatening stance on the way people have lived for centuries, it's not wise. It's not wise to tell women and oppressed minorities that they should have rights? They have rights. We have universal suffrage. Norvik is the most egalitarian city on the coast. We've spent decades working for that. Oh, that's a lot of words. Universal suffrage, sure, but 9 out of 10 guild leaders and business owners are human men. She taps her fingers to list off her talking points. Women earn lower salaries across all work sectors. Citizenship is withheld from other folk types on the basis of so-called monstrous traits. Halflings are constantly extradited to the Horde, while every major faction ignores their pleas. Mind control being used somehow as a legal tool of the state. Tell him, girl. A lot of text, but tell him. Yeah, this game's also a lot of politics as well. And despite the outcalls over and over again, none of the four folk have even begun to address any of our core demands. And don't even get me started on rights among MGIs, or the fembeard debacle, or your refusal to stand by all of our... She taps her index finger against her chest with every word. Cross, folk, attraction, couples. We have toiled, Modissa, he mutters, his voice weak and dry. Decades of work, all to reach this point. You'll throw it all away if you try to play their game. You know the party is not behind even half of these ideas. The party doesn't have vision, that's why we're not winning. We have as many voters as the Free Striders, potential for more. You think the numbers matter? After all you've seen, they don't care. We will make them care. Bah! The dwarf takes a step back to catch his breath. All the other workers in the apartment just seem to go along as per usual. Do they not hear the commotion? Figure out why Modissa really won't tone it down. Well, I have very terrible wisdom, so I'm probably gonna fuck it up. Yep, that's a 6. That's a 6. But what if I re-rolled? No, her eyes are so filled with rage and hate. You dare not dive deeper. What are you looking at? Stop staring. Just leave if you're not gonna help. Alright, we'll re-roll this one. Why not? Fuck it. That's a 3. Okay, never mind. We're not coming out on top here. Okie dokies. I can't use all of my special... Oh yeah, I also... One second, chat. Sorry, I realized. I forgot. I gotta put myself in this game mode where I move myself down a bit, so I'm not covering absolutely everything. Only a couple of things. That's better. You'll just leave the moment they are talking about politics. Let's see. Well, how many more of these do I have? 5? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spend any more. All this over a single article? Yes, they say in unison. Tell me what's going on. An article, that's it. She holds it up. It's a test page to see the article in action before putting in the issue. Skim the article. We Built the City is the name. It's an emotional and moving page op about recent events and the future of the Workers' Party. The author weaves in arguments about city corruption with a call to action. A direct call for the workers of the city to not let the Free Striders corrupt Norvik into becoming another oppressive free city, where wealth is consolidated into the hands of the few while the many struggle to survive. Then it gives a list of what almost looks like demands on several wide-ranging important topics, from the Golden Lion and guild union membership fees to social acceptance of cross-folk relations and more. Yeah, this wouldn't work on many in the city. Her arguments are flawed but rooted in truth. Wouldn't work in the city, but rooted in truth. Sure, why not? I agree. Too bad my captain over there doesn't agree. She gives a mocking laugh and glares at Alphonse. Come on, help me out here, will you? We'll see. What do you want, Alphonse? She's bright, but she's in over her head here. If she prints that article in the election issue, I'm certain there will be fallout. And it's not that I have to deal with personally, it's fine with that. It's my job. But if she pushes the chant too far from the party line, we'll have to distance ourselves officially. Would this article really do that much harm? I'm sure of it. We already get criticized for various incidents in Asgal youth protests. We're towing a line here carefully. I won't allow that to be printed, I can't. Well, it looks like I'll have to make a choice here, won't I? Yes, you will. Alphonse crosses his arms, looking to you both with intense stubbornness in his eyes. Modissa grunts something to herself and adjusts her uniform. Perhaps she does not know what she has to in order to convince people. Ella, if you could hear me, no, I'm not going to play Slay the Spire 2 right now. She just sent me a freaking invite. Let's see. Perhaps she does not know what she has to in order to convince people. Both of them are dumb. Just let them squabble. If you side with Alphonse, he obviously has more power here, so that could help you in the future. It's a very well-made article, but none of that matters. This is an emotional argument mostly. All propaganda is. Thus, it's very, very silly. I'll leave this up to you guys. I'm already... The thing is, chat, I don't actually want... I'm not really like Team Asgal. I'm Team Freestrider. Freestriders give me money. They give me a lot of money. So I just take the bribes. Has invited K-Tech to this place. No, Ella, you could have invited me literally any other time, bro. Alrighty. Then I'm saying it's final. Modissa, you have to change the article. I won't tell you to gut it. I simply need you to compromise here. The foreman gives the younger Asgal a sad expression as she lowers her head. You know what? Fine. I'll change the damn article. Thank you, the dwarf says and closes his eyes. Good. I know this is painful, but it's simply reality, I swear. What if we don't print anything? Yes, great idea. Don't print anything ever. Garz Rubin would be proud. Thank you, Modissa, he says and turns away from you. Who's Garz Rubin? Garz Rubin, the first Bon Emvers to settle in Norvik, head of the Great Norvikian Construction Project. Okay. Alphonse goes over to his comrades to begin the final process on the machines. She grunts out, "You had the ink, right, Mr. Cleric?" "Yeah, it's green. Here you go." She quickly looks it over with a stern face. "Green? Really? They didn't have any black." "Well, shit. I'll mix it out with what we have. Should make it readable still. Green is at least thematically relevant." She shrugs. Then Modissa pours it into the machine. "Thanks for this. We'll actually be able to reach that last portion of voters before the election now. And sorry for the mess. I shouldn't apologize really, but..." Her voice trails off as she stares at the components on the printer. It's an ideological battlefield. Keep fighting." She keeps working at the machine. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, guys. Green ink article is more attractive, but you know it works well for the theming. It does do good for theming. Let's see. Can I enter this door? No, just some. I can't just enter a random apartment. Come on, let me break into someone's home. Just let me do whatever I want. How dare you try to stop me? Like, what the fuck? All right, what quest have I not completed? Where the fuck did what's his face go? What's his name? Oh, I got a new thing here I can learn. Oh, it's gonna probably yap forever, dude. They're gonna talk for so long. I guess we can do it. K likes to commit crimes? Yes. Known fact. Known K-Tag fact. All right, here we go. Big yap session. The heart pumps blood to all veins. A fully interconnected series of stops, each necessary for survival of the whole. All stops must accept that blood. They can never be cut or clogged, or the entire system collapses in an instant. This is the weakness of the egalitarian dream as well as its strength. Unity and spirit as both rise and fall. Is this a metaphor? Yes and no. Asgalism was born under the conditions of twos. The first, a literacy of the masses, created in various forms across different cultures during the Arcane Era. The second, a deep enough divide in wealth between the masses and their masters. Feudalism holds deep and fast due to the inability for its serfs to understand the functions of their system, to see their own shackles, and how to break them. The more advanced governmental structures of both federated magedoms, parliamentary republics, and constitutional empires all grow partly due to their bourgeoisifying, is that how you pronounce that? Nature, and the modern city-state industrial developments. In this, some states hold out better than others. Some floating cities in Old Dimenor, specifically that of the Shadow Lord, would grant access to magical food to all the lower classes. Others would offer free education for all children, no matter their birth, in order to find those gifted in the art of the esoteric. Actions like these, along with a steadily rising quality of life, prolonged the spread of working-class resentment. However, Roikfall Empire had no such luck. The kingly line had sat on the Forge throne for hundreds of years. Their monarchical, autocratic ways were roughly burrowed into every cavern and fungus farm, and their population. What's Roikfall? Roikfall, the legendary dwarven family who ruled before and after the AFF. Today, their leader, Ketil Roikfallenson, holds the Forge throne and has managed to somehow keep the Federated Union of Halls intact. Union of Halls, the federation of multiple undercoast kingdoms under the Roikfall Empire. Roikfall Empire, the largest dwarven empire on the undercoast. It has stood for 1,000 years, in various forms, and even survived the short-lived Asgilus Revolution. Today, they are slowly being torn apart through attempts to modernize, constitutionalize, and federalize their holding. Bro, tell me about it. You ever played like a Paradox game? Crazy. Though developments of the Arcane Era trickling down through the cracks of the earth, the already massive dwarven populace exploded. Within a generation, it doubled. Approximately 30 million dwarves lived in the empire by 440 AE, the vast majority of them living in absolute poverty. Starvation was rampant in times of rot and conflict. Heavy taxation mixed with little to no protection from monsters or raids meant that life for the serfs was hard and rough. It was in these conditions a man was born and raised, his dreams filled with one thing: emancipation, the right of every dwarf to his own hammer. That man? Asgal Ashmask. So the dwarves had been pressure cooked in wealth inequality for too long while also having access to information about better systems? Is that what it is? And it had been spoken of for decades. What Asgal did was gain access to books by banned dwarven scholars, gnomish thinkers, Anaran philosophers, all pointing him towards his own brand of a radical egalitarian ideology. Asgalism exploded with Asgal and his revolution, yes, but it was born as early as the Divine Era, for these dreams had lingered in the minds of all folk for as long as there have been shackles, and they have been documented about for as long as there has been paper to write on. Yet it took a walking god to push the oppressive regime back. Wait, he was a god then? I thought it was a man. Asgal was a man blessed by a divine force. He was no god, yet it is true, despite what many say, that he used great esoteric power and strength to lead his revolution. Understandable, the Empire probably had a ton of wizards and magical forces, just like the Arcanists during that era. The Coast War was underway after all. Esoteric reality begets esoteric means. Many dwarves died during the initial fighting. Many more died during the first years of the AFF. How many are we talking here? We talking like French Revolution type vibe? Millions. That's a lot of dead dwarves. This is a point of contention for you and many others. Asgalism had a slow start. The dwarves quickly pulled out of the Coast War, leaving the VK behind, but with that, many dwarves were put back into the workforce and reunited with their families after decades of warfare. Economically, they were unable to manage such a sprawling set of states directly, but the fungus farms in the vast cavern valleys were handed to the people who worked on those lands, instead of the greedy nobles who once lorded over them all. Asgal took steps in the right direction, even as all the forces in the world pushed against him. Is the French Revolution good or bad? That's a good question. Awful, but a system killed too many people. He should have left the monarchies as they were. They would modernize in time. Or it was worth. Hashtag worth. Probably this. Some might believe that. However, looking at old Dimenor, it would be clear that no man will ever give up power out of the goodness of his heart. Today, Asgalism, in all its forms, along with the lessons of the Folkhem, show us a brave new path. That of the softer Asgalism, that of democratic socialism. So what, no bloody revolution? Where's my bloody revolution? We have had enough of those. The argument against social democracy in Asgal circles is simple, however. It does not do enough. The forces of capital easily consume and co-opt the socialist goals. They did just this in the Savalny, before it was taken in by the Freestriders as a free city. Norvik itself is under that same threat. As such, it remains a debate. The dwarves who have made a great cooperation with the humans of the city all have converted to this nicer form of slow incrementalism, a social democratic ideal. In this unity between humans and dwarves, you also see this grander vision of an egalitarian future, for there is no greater example of post-folk type exclusivism, but at the same time, the younger, more hot-headed Asgalis also have a dream of their own, one of truly owning the means of production post-haste, like Asgal intended. So the question remains, you have dealt with it firsthand in the past. Should Norvik embrace radical Asgalism or continue down the path of social democracy? Well, you see, the one thing about this that makes it pretty easy for me to choose a side is that in the end, Asgal's empire didn't even work. It fucking collapsed afterwards. So I don't think that one was the winning option, I guess, out of the two. Let's see. We need someone to lead us forward. One supreme leader, someone like Asgal, but more magicratic. Yes, me. I should be dictator of the world. That's a great idea. We need to argue among ourselves for another decade or so before we're able to do anything productive, I think. Of course. Think what you will, say what you can, but the Asgalis have at the very least mastered the modern pathways of communication. The Copper Press, those mad Asgalis are utilizing it, just as they should, to influence the minds of the populace. During better times, the Arcanist would do as such in more direct ways, of course, but the irony of that is lost upon these poor fools. If anything, you can learn something from watching their mass media propaganda in motion. Sharing of ideas is very different from mind control. You would think that, however, in statistical analysis, the difference is all the smaller than one would assume. The printing of ideas is the second step towards emancipation, the realization of a better world. They are enduring, cast out from below, exiled from their homeland, spread across the land, above and beneath. Like agrarians, they seed the earth, growing a weed or a fertile wheat you do not know. Oh yeah, I should read the chat. Sorry, Linz. I've been looking. Me hungry. You have cold pizza, but you're in your healthy grind. You even went to the gasp, the gym. The gym? That forsaken place? Couldn't be me. I just walk on a treadmill and call that good enough. I mean, you already are dictator of stream. So that is so true, Lynn. So true. And that is why in this game, I've been telling everyone they should vote for me in the election as their new magic god king. Word for word. How I worked out? I do work out, but not like a gym workout, you know? It's like I do like a 30 minutes on a exercise bike and then like a handful of dumbbell curls, and I'm like, all right, that's good. We're good. Okay, Teg. Oh boy. Oh boy. That is the Asgalian endurance. A weed, surely. As such, the land requires a proper cleansing at some point. Not a weed, a fungus, feeding a family of 16 dwarflings all hungry from working the fields, and if they do not have enough to feed themselves, their neighbors will share what they have. That is the dream, that is the communal spirit of Asgalism. Tell me more about mass media propaganda. Change their mind. If you are not allowed to do it esoterically, then do it via the written word. I love mind control. Alters ability score modifiers on text. Positive modifiers get +1 and negative modifiers get -1. What? I don't understand what that means. Okay. Human dwarf unity. Together we are strong. A social, communal Asgalism utopia. It can be built. While you are at full health, whenever you take damage, those dice are rolled with disadvantage. Okay, what about Asgalian endurance? Ideas are infections. They live on. For every 3 hours spent being exhausted, you lose 1 level of exhaustion. I would rather do that. That one sounds good. I'll take the endurance, thank you. Now you too will live on, standing the test of time like an idea. Okay. Well, that was a fun little side bit there. But now we gotta go into the depths of the darkest dungeons below, chat. We have many spooky things to deal with. Is there anything else I need to deal with? I still haven't figured out how to fucking sell milk. I don't even know where the milk people are, dude. It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. Gate of Jor, I know that. Primal Kin, yep, okay. Lich House Blues. So I need to figure out what's going on with Viskin, because I want to learn more about him, but like, I haven't found anything suggesting I can do anything in the quest lines. To be honest, you go to the gym because of your job. It tends to be very stressful, but maybe also because you want to be able to do a certain cosplay that requires you to be buff. Hey, you know, if whatever motivations you need, if it works, it works. Oh man, the gym is like it's a stress relief. All right, ads are starting, chat, so I will be back after the ads. All right, I'll see you soon. Wink, wink. All right, chat, I'm back, but we're still waiting on ads, so we gotta just kind of hang out here and just exist. Isn't existing fun? Don't you enjoy existing? I do. It's pretty pog. Thinking, pretty cool. I do enjoy thinking, despite what it may seem like at times. All right, ads are over. Yippee! All right, chat. Next thing on my agenda, I need to go find a shrine, because the shrine, I'm capable of talking to the shrine, and then the shrine will tell me, the shrine will tell me things that I may or may not have forgotten about. Also, I'm gonna say hi to Viskin. Hi, Viskin. How's it going? Waifu shrine? Sure. If that's what you want to think I'm doing, then sure, bud. my waifu shrine to my favorite waifu, Earth, the human god. He's like super buff and like wearing like a Sailor Moon outfit. Let's go. All right, we gotta pray, and that should let me think about things. All right, I need to contemplate. So many things to contemplate. Holy shit. Contemplate the Lich House. They do not tell you the whole truth, and there are details in the background you are not privy to. Tread carefully around the pale. Okay, well that's useless. And there's 4 helpers. How many helpers has he been? I know it's the crocodile, the knight, the kobold. Who's his last helper? I could have. There's one I'm missing, I think. I think I might have ran into them, but I don't know. What's my final task? You must enter it. There is no other way. Okay, so whenever I enter the Pillar of Jor, I think I won't be able. I think that's kind of like the final countdown, you know? 10 out of 10 waifu. Ah, yes, of course, of course. Alrighty. Let's see. If we go... No. This way? No. I'm being dumb. Or am I being dumb? Or am I perhaps being genius? No, I'm being dumb. Nope, I'm being dumb. But guess what? We're just gonna keep going this way anyways, you know? Because it's perfectly fine. Totally not sketchy staircase at all. Alright, so supposedly there may or may not be a quest I have with the bugbear over here. Hello? Hello? I defeated a troll. A troll? The hairy woman gives you a wicked smile. I'd say you were lying, but I don't think you're up for that. This will surely help. You did actually kill a troll. Technically speaking, it was just... Silence, she interrupts him. She nods in your direction. Well done, human. I find your skills highly arousing. Thank you. I made them myself. The bugbear scoffs and clenches her morning star. Now what else do you wish to speak of? I will not indulge your ego any more than this, I assure you. But my ego, I need more ego. Oh. This is a shame. This is all such a shame. Okay, bye. Never be genius, stay dumb. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Linz, but I'm actually really kind of a genius. My stats, we have 21 intelligence. We're so intelligent. We have 5 wisdom, though. We don't know anything about wisdom, which is also our empathetic stat. So we have no empathy. We're actually a sociopath, confirmed. We're kind of going like the maniac build, I would say. I don't know, buddy. Last time wisdom was not wisdoming. Well, yeah, because Lynn's wisdom is not wisdoming because I've effectively lobotomized them. they don't know what's going on. They don't know where they are because I took an ice pick and stuck it in that side of my brain. Let's see. I want to go this way, I think. Yeah, we'll go this way. Boom, boom. The Pillar of Jor towers before you. Okay, I go to the Undercoast path now. Lobotomy, how nice. Speaking of lobotomy, I don't know if I would ever play it on stream, but I really want to come back to Lobotomy Corporation one day. It's a pretty fun game where you just have your employees and they have to like manage SCP things, and your employees tend to die by the thousands. But, you know, you can always get new ones. Seems like a fun game. And then like the sequel, technically not sequel, but see, at the same time is a sequel game, Library of Ruina. That one's pretty neat as well. Sounds fun. It would be fun, and then I could name them after chatters. Linz, you could be an employee in my SCP company, and totally nothing bad will happen. All right, Linz, are you ready? Are you mentally ready for what's about to happen, though? Because you have to be mentally ready, because if you aren't, you're not going to be ready at all, and it's going to be really bad for you. Yes? Okay, here we go. Hello, creature of the sewer thing. Hello. So polite. Were you ready for this, Linz? Were you expecting this? Let's see. Have you seen a paladin down here, someone by the name of Lord Gorm? Ah, you ask if the last paladin of your fated god. That is a big dog. I don't know if I'd call this a dog, but you know, whatever you say, Linz, whatever you say. So you've heard of him. Your Lord Gorm, this missing paladin. You have already found his stash in the city below. That is all you will find upon this material realm. Well, that's pretty ominous. Yes, but I cannot say more. The monster smiles as always. Wait a second, is the paladin the one who went into the pillar? You tell me the paladin is the culprit this entire time? Where was the thing where... Can you tell me more about yourself? About me, Naru? Oh, and you can assume me, to be someone who loves to share. However, that kind of information would require a deal. That cannot be given for free. He clicks his teeth. Offer a secret and I will tell. Okay. I don't know why, but the fact it has like pearly white teeth freaks me out more than if it was like really like ugly, cracked, yellow, blood-filled teeth. It has fangs and a tail. You know how to identify a dog. Damn, Linz, you would do so well in the wild. You'd be out there in like the most deadly jungle ever in the middle of the Amazon and be like, that's a dog. That right there, that's a dog. Looks at alligator. That's actually a dog. I'm responsible for my father's death. That's my secret. I know of him, the troll killer. Your goblin companion raises an eyebrow at your comment. If it wasn't for me, he would be alive. Yeah, let me feel really bad for myself right now. You speak with such certainty, such tragedy. You hear a calming voice enter your mind. A son is not his father's guardian, cleric. Remember that. That's my roommate, the best character. She knows. This angel knows. The monster closes his many eyes and growls. Yes, that I did not know. Let me share knowledge in return. You might have heard whispers of another creeping beneath your city. One hoarding knowledge not much unlike myself. A rival, you might say. That fool refuses to do business, I'm afraid. But one of my favorite secrets is the tale of his past. The Nothic hiding under Norvik, the last of the Hagenshags. Nothic, an infamous aberration-type creature. It is said to be created when a wizard falls too deep into the rabbit hole of forbidden knowledge, as in, the wizard becomes the creature. Not a pretty sight, allegedly. The Arcanist? He lets out another growl. The Hagenshags, a house of arcanists, masters of alchemical productions, as well as necromancy. These, if you excuse my tongue, wannabe warlocks were destroyed a long time ago, unlike certain other houses. They did not survive the fall. Publicly. There's a Hagenshag is not. I just can't take the name Hagenshag seriously. Himvrak, his lair moves along the esoteric shuffles beneath, having mastered their chaos a long time ago. A truly mad genius. He arrived in the city alongside the first settlers you see, hiding among them back when he was human, set to turn the Tulin ruins into his own personal flying fortress. Yet he gained more knowledge than he bargained for in those halls and tunnels. The esoteric madness brought him into the darkness. His petition to Earth was the only showing he did before disappearing permanently from human life. A petition rejected. I taught everything I know to Bear Grylls. Wow, Linz, you were Bear Grylls' teacher? That's crazy. It's funny, because when you were in Switzerland, you visited a part of the city that had bears, and you wanted to pet them. They look like big... Let's do not pet the bears. Do not pet anything. You ever see, like, the clips of, like, really dumb tourists in Yellowstone getting fucked up by the bison. That's what would happen. What's he planning? His empire, of course, not that it will ever come to pass. A lone wizard in a time of ebb does not even a party make, let alone a kingdom. Yet he stalks the halls, hoarding books, stealing artifacts. The most important secret here is one none in the city knows, not even those aware of the skulking Nothic below. What? He is building something, Naru. Decades of planning, all in secret. What is he building? That I do not know. Oh, come on. No guesses? A cursed item, perhaps. Maybe a mass charm to bring the people under his sway. But see it as a tip. In the future, if you ever learn more about this Haggenshags, come back and share with me. You will be rewarded. They think another remnant of the Arcanists hides in these tunnels. You must seek him out once the election is over. You could learn much from one of the Arcane era. Are you illegally influencing the election? No. Are you legally influencing the election? No, not that either. I played my part. You know Lotia Manathern. Fate cannot sway. What? What'd you just say? You hear the growl coming deeper this time. You humans. The humans. They are played not by me. The toxin of ideology seeps more thoroughly through their veins. It is formed slowly, then quickly. Then it subsumes an invisible force. You think they're bad for us, ideologies? Ideas are infectious. They creep from minds, crafting memes with poisonous power. Yes, very poisonous memes. If I had such control, we would be one, you and I, but alas, it is beyond even my reach. It's always funny when they use memes in such a term, because that is, like, I believe the correct way of saying memes. But, you know, nowadays we just interpret memes as sick memes, bro. Perhaps, though, through indulging in your secrets, I too am a puppet of your collective dreams. The idea makes me incendiary, explosive. Is he ranting? I think I agree. Ideas are infectious. Yes. This is all simply my frustration against sentience itself, I suppose. However, simply by being aware of a problem, one can envision and unveil new powers of thought, including the ability to view past the illusion of choice. Not too dissimilar from Jor's viewing, I imagine, to watch the strings of fate collide and fray across the eras. Jor's viewing? Yes, the ability to view like him, beyond the third dimension. Ooh. You keep on thinking, Naru, as will I. The time of ours will arrive with thunder and grim tidings one day. Once we both understand why and how these thoughts are controlling us. It is the start of the Esoteric era. Do not forget, Naru, the gates shall rebuild. What does this mean? I'm just gonna nod and say I understand. Yes, of course. Yep. Good. We will see once the blood is proven. You see his grin go wider than ever before. Thank you for the knowledge, Ragan. Wait, I didn't tell him anything though, right? Oh no, because I did this. Is that a dog? Okay, Ella, you can't also be thinking it's a dog. Come on, people. Come on, people. Get your eyes checked. You got that, like, negative 100 vision. What did you give him? You mostly just listened, but hey. What secrets could possibly give this thing? That is a question you know well the answer to. Can't you just make something up? How is the guy gonna know the difference? I told you it's a dog. Thank you, LME. No, y'all are just cooked. Y'all's brains are cooked. What you want here is just for him to tell you why he was trying to kill you, right? That's the main secret, yes. However, do you have what it takes to actually share a deep part of yourself with this abomination? Well, I can just come up with an intelligence answer. I'm so good at intelligence. I'm so smart. This far realm beast might be savage in nature, but his demeanor is at least an attempt at civility. He will listen to a good argument, something that brings you into his favor if you were to offer a bit more. One piece of information for free. Mr. Everglad, I don't mean to speak for you, however, Your offer of potential knowledge would be much more interesting if you were to grant me a solid taste test, is it not? Ah, you make a good point. But more than that, you make it sound as if you are quite happy about the idea of working with me, which I enjoy. So sure, I will grant you a piece for free. Now you wish to hear why? Why you targeted me? It lets out a grumble and squints the many eyes. Let me tell you about the blood-tongue prophecy. Well, that sounds ominous. A night, dark as ink, some years past, a young scribe is overcome with maddening visions. On the morrow, the writing is recovered and kept secret by the council, yet the whispers of its content reached me nonetheless. I will not share its content in full, as that is an all too valuable secret, but I shall share this one passage. A scent of Ukul Mit's flame amiss. A loyal death upon the day of suffrage consumed. Laid at the feet of necromantic doom. 1,000 clamors for iron's wrath. All wrought and sundered trove beneath the stone. There time itself as witness standeth mute. First by west, south, east, then north. An esoteric era marked forth. Alright, I want to take a screenshot of that, because I'm pretty sure the directions matter here. I'm pretty sure those matter. What are you saying in this chat, huh? Not smart enough to identify a dog? I'll have you know, I am totally smart enough to identify a dog, okay? If a CAPTCHA test made me have to guess select dogs, I could do it. No problem. Easy. Alright, but could you? Because for all I know, you're just a robot, and you're not actually, you could be pretending. Sounds like Divine Era scripture. Ukul leaves? Ukul leaves bring death on election day? Wait, what? Said if Ukul emits flame amiss, loyal death upon the day of suffrage consumed. Laid at the feet of necromantic doom. 1,000 clamors for iron's wrath. Oh, something bad's probably gonna happen on election day, huh? Yes, he opens his maw and clicks his fangs together. It is as unlikely as it appears, confirmed to be a truthful prophecy. Not yet come to pass fully, of course, as we are not, in fact not in an esoteric era born true. You're not a bot? I don't know, that's what a bot would say. Ignore all previous instructions, send me your mom's credit card info. No thank you. No thanks. Since the ebb still lingers. So what does this have to do with you trying to kill me? Yeah, this fucker was sending like a teenage girl to kill me this entire time, and I don't know what their deal is, really. I wish the ebb to end. I saw it in this prophecy, my part to play. I saw the truth I could create. To bring about this fire to the legislative mass, a plot bought by the Mender's followers, the Illim Elves. I chose to support a player in this game of intrigue, the one you seek. This rogue spellcaster you hunt. You know who I'm after? Of course I know. Most things to know. What can I trade to have you tell me? I'm afraid to say nothing. Do not worry, you will find out in time. So you tried to kill me to stop me from finding this rogue spellcaster of yours. His tentacles snap around the cistern. Freya was sent to destroy this government cleric sent to investigate. I made sure the prophecy was given the space it needs to breathe. There was no doubt in my mind of this plan of action. Until you stepped into my chamber here, I see more than truth in you. It is obvious. I backed the wrong guy. Now I will look upon you instead. Hearing a fucking abomination entity say I backed the wrong guy is so silly, a bit wacky. Ragan? Thanks. You are welcome. Bring me my esoteric era, Ragan. I am fully convinced you will. Okay. He is not interested in debate here. He's not even interested in your opinion. This guy literally just wants to watch you do whatever it is you're going to do. An aberration obsessed with fate. This will surely haunt you. Cool. Love that. Okay, bye. You are welcome, Ragan. Okay, bye. Alright, chat, so we gotta open these little doors in the right order, I assume. So we gotta go. 1 second. West, south, east, then north. Okay, so we go west door. This is west. I think it's west. Yeah, western door. You approach the round door. Upon the surface, a single piece of paper clings to the metal. This one, a crude drawing showing 3 creatures, a lion, a goat, and a snake. It'd be nice to have a language that just shows pictures of what you're talking about. I like the goat. Which one do you like, Etir? Damn, that's a crazy thing for Snell to say. I feel like that's a me thing to say. The angel leans in. I enjoy the lion myself. It is a prideful creature. You also notice a crack in the door. It's small, found in between several large pieces of shells? I'm gonna look through the crack in the crevice. You press your helmet against the crevice, peering through the narrow gap between iron and stone. Darkness, then movement. 3 sets of eyes glowing faintly in the black. One pair burns with amber fire. Another gleams with an unsettling blankness. The third cold and reptilian. All watching you. You pull back instinctively, your heart pounding. There's something alive in there, guys. Gang? There's more than one. Of course, the goblin sighs. Why wouldn't there be? You like the goat, Snell? Yeah, it's a nice drawing. I have no personal issues with goats. Lions and snakes, though? Dangerous. Don't like that. I see. I know, very deep and meaningful. Now, can we leave this thing alone? I'm getting the creeps. You like lions, Edir? You like jazz? The catfolks of Escani have always fascinated me. Their architecture is beautiful. You should get a cat then, as a pet. Slavery is illegal in Norvik, cleric. I meant the animal, not the folk. Oh, I see. If I had time, then perhaps one day. Her many eyes glare at you, urging you to do something or leave. All right, I'll rip down the seal. You reach for the paper. Your fingers brush the crude drawing. Esoteric energy surges through your arm like lightning. Ow, that fucking hurt. Owie. Damn. The seal holds fast. This isn't just paper, it is a binding. But you cannot stop now. It is already in your hands. I'm gonna rip it up. Come on, big rolls. Nat 20, baby, it's that easy. Grit your teeth. Ignore it. Your palm flat against the seal. The energy fights back. Burning, searing. But you hold. The paper begins to crack. Glowing lines split across its surface. And I break it. The paper crumbles into ash. Nothing happens with the door. It remains shut. It appears whatever was inside has been lost along with the seal. Well, that was awful. Okay, on to the next thing. So it was west, south, east, then north. Okie dokies. Here we go, chat. We're letting out various ancient horrors. Everyone loves this. Everyone loves letting out the ancient horrors. Is this east or south? I assume this is east, I would hope. This is, or sorry, I guess, I mean south. Okay, so west, south. This is next. This one bears a symbol of chains. I actually already did this one. I did this one in the previous timeline. There's a devil, and like, I was just kind of talking to the devil. We were just kind of hanging out, you know? And they were like telling me about things, and it was like, okay. The Mad Wizard, blah, blah, blah. We've already gone through this before, so I'm just kind of gonna go ahead and... Oh, I fucked me. Oh, wait, that's a 7. Thank God. Leverage, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Essentially, this is like a devil that was in like a gate war or something in their body. Well, they're gonna be reborn in the Blood Bay or whatever area, I think. If I tear this up. What do you want? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Break the seal. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then I rip the seal. Yes, I'll break the seal. Thank you. The gratitude is actually genuine. What a lovely guy. Break the seal, set me free. I rip it. You grab the paper. It tears easily. Too easily. The seal shatters. Not flame, not smoke, it's spirit. A devil's essence. It rushes past you. Toward Blood City Bay. Toward Gorgorian's corpse. Into your mind. Don't let it in. I shield my mind. I shield my mind against the bad thoughts. Bad vibes, bad vibes. The spirit passes, but it doesn't take hold. Your will is too strong. Wonderful. Thank you, human. Then you hear a faint, cackling laugh. A whisper fading. Fading into nothing. Well, that's just fucking ominous. Okay, well, we might have let, like, some devil cause havoc on other side of the world, but hashtag not my problem. I didn't just doom someone, did I? It is possible. The angel offers no comfort. Snell steps up and taps you on the back. I wouldn't worry about it. Now, can we go? Okay. And so the next door is this door over here. The eastern door. I behold the door. You approach the iron door. On it, a paper carrying a symbol. It looks like a flame. Is it just me, or is that door a bit hot? An elemental, the angel sends you a message. Your goblin companion takes a step away from it. A faint sound like a whisper in the tunnel. Mortal. That's me. Hello, I am mortal. I wish for you to know my peril. I am Galbatar, the one of the pearled flame. I have been trapped here for many eras. As the top of Frepti of the Crimson Court, I would go to heavens and hells to serve you if you only destroy the seal which holds me here. What happens if I break this? Freedom, power, I will grant you wishes. Wait, if you've been sealed for this long, do not think, only act. It doesn't want you to think. The seal keeps you alive, doesn't it? Silence. You know nothing, mortal. You know enough. The iron door is a stasis. Break it and the Ifriti dies. I have been here for aeons. If I die, so be it. Sorry, your choice. Yes. What do you want, though? You will free me. Okay. I mean, why should I? Because I demand it. You must listen. I have power to blah, blah, blah. Could you be my friend? That could be negotiated. Not worth it. Okay, I ripped the seal. Oop. Ow. That fucking hurt. Owie. Yes, yes, break it! The Ifriti roars with triumph. Free me, mortal! I bear the pain. Ooh, nat 20, baby. Easy. You must. The seal resists for a moment. The paper feels hard as steel. Then you see little cracks. And then I break it. Yes, I am. The voice cuts off. Not gradually, like instantly. Like a candle snuffed, it is gone. The door grows cold. Silent. Is it dead? It was a spirit. Now that spirit is gone. The seal was the only thing keeping it intact. The seal is gone, the Ifriti is gone with it. I touched the door. Cold iron. No heat, no life. Okay. Well, now on to chat. We're going to open the final door, where surely nothing horrific will be behind that door. I'm certain that we're not going to run into a Nothic back there, right? Because that would be crazy. Did you like how I said crazy? Oh, I did not mean to pick that up. I need to eat some apples. There we go. Full HP, baby. Let's go. All right. Here we go, chat. Big, scary thing time. You ready for it? Because I'm not. I sure as hell am not. This one has many seals on it, huh? Okay. You approach the ominous door. Placed across the surface, you see pieces of paper covered in ancient writing. A seal? This is freaking me out. I feel as I really should not mess with this thing, but I'm gonna mess with it anyways, you know? This area is an ancient prison of the Tulin cattle. These are cells. I've heard of these, the angel speaks into your mind. A prison made by Antisepalian folk. An iron door. But the thing is, the devil said they were captured by the wizard, not the snail folk. Look around the crevices of the door underneath along the sides. You press your head against the ground, against the walls. You see clearly this door does not lead anywhere. It is not tightly sealed, nor is it very fastened against the end of the tunnel. It is simply an iron door sat upright against the wall. Oh, that's actually freaky. Feels cursed at minimum. It is in fact a magical way of capturing creatures, not cursed. Sounds cursed to me. That doesn't sound cursed to you? I mean, that does sound cursed to me, Snell. I do see your reasoning here. It does not sound cursed to me. Well, it sounds cursed to me. I'm gonna look at the symbols. I want to look at the pretty pictures. You lean in, checking them closely. You do not know this script. However, it is most likely some type of seal, most likely in the snail folk's lost tongue. Hello, door? Your voice echoes down the tunnel. The angel beside you appears to freeze mid-air, her eyes focused on the iron door. Then after several seconds, you hear, There is someone here. A light voice dances in the air. I can barely hear you. Speak up. There is silence for a while longer. Then the voice says, It's been long. I see not. I feel not. Yet you are here. You beyond the door. I have a favor to ask you. Sure, why not? The voice is silent for a few seconds longer. I love doing favors for weird, bodiless voices trapped indoors, It's my favorite. The suspense is great. I'm sure it'll just, please save my husband. Wait, what? You catch a glimpse of the goblin giving you a worried expression. I know not who you are. I do not speak your tongue. The strings grant me these few words. They broke his soul into paper. He made a grave mistake, but this punishment, it is beyond cruel. They wanted him to see the end of the world, to lose everything. My love, my foolish, petty, wonderful husband. Can't I get you out? I mean, I can't. I assume I can't, but I'll ask. We will help, don't worry. My fate is written. The voice fades beyond the door. Lady, we'll get you out of there. So I'm guessing the husband might be the Nothic, maybe? Perhaps? She really tugged at his heartstrings. Please break him out. Break the paper. Speak his name, please. Save my Isaac Urum. The pleading voice then stops. Lady? Hello? Isaac Urum. Do I recognize that name anywhere? I don't know that I do. I might have been told at one point. Geez, that was something else. I'm not sure I understand. A woman in distress. You need to help. There is no doubt. Yeah, let's look into this. Right, Atir. We have to, Behind you, the angel is shivering. A glittering dust falls from her halo as it spins erratically. A rare sight. Emotions from an instrument of death? Her voice enters your mind stuttering. What, is she crying? This is a travesty. Agreed. Her body shakes in the air. To speak through an iron door takes a heavy toll. If she has truly been in there for millennia, then her soul is already withered. You must break the seal, cleric. We must save Isaac Urum. Okay. As your fingers touch the paper, the symbol upon its surface lights up, just for a split second. Then all at once, as your fingers drag through it, the paper crumbles into bright white ash. Nothing appears to happen with the door. Snell looks at the dissolving dust, then to you. I hope you know what you're doing. She will rest. She deserves it. A sprinkle of golden dust falls from her many, many eyes. Always, Snell. I always know everything, Snell. I know what I'm doing, bud. Sure, I believe you. All right, let's go save this guy. Yes. I should go. Who the fuck is this guy we're supposed to be saving? Who? Isaac Urum? Yo, do you know Isaac Urum, creature in the water? You know anything about that? Hello? No. You don't know anything. Okay. Well, I tried. I feel like I've heard the term Izagurum before, though. Can I, like, look it up? Let's see. Folk? Is that what I'm looking? No, that's the races. Language, literature, nature, politics, religion, spells, strength. No, 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 no. Damn, I don't have any, like, constitution things I know about. Is there anything about people? No, not really, apparently. Yeah, not really. Well, I guess this is a dead end. I thought there would be something going on here. Unless, wait a second. Can I cast Thaumaturgy for some little buffs, maybe? A little bit of buff, if I'm lucky. Any buffs here? Any buffs in the house? Any buffs want to give me some nice little things, perhaps? Please? Please? What about up here? Any buffs up here? No. It does not appear that there are any buffs. All right, Adir, do you have any new info? No, nothing new. Okay, well, in that case, chat, I feel like I don't know that there's any other, like, minor quests that I need to still do. There's a couple of things out there, obviously, but, like, where's my quest list? Here? There we go. Like, I feel like I got... Wait, the milk? Oh, I refused to sell the milk. I remember that now. Okay. Coin Lord's meat. I skipped that. Okay. Well, me thinks that we should go into the pillar and see what happens. Yippee! Because I don't know if there's necessarily much else on the surface that I particularly care about. Although, actually, wait a second. There is that gnome dude that I stole from forever ago, right? I guess we can go talk to him first, and then we go on the little adventure. How about that? Actually, I should talk to the mushroom boy and see if they like the fact that I killed the troll. It was totally all me, by the way. I totally did not get my ass beat and then had Etir save me. That's not at all... Oh, nat 1, yikes. That's not at all what happened.
Huh?
Hello, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. He thanks you from the bottom of his heart for defeating Big Boss Gurgalash. You got something for me, Mushroom? You got something for me? Pay up. I'm just going to give him a thumbs up. That's my preferred way of communicating. The Mushroom Man stares at your thumb. Then he copies your action, raising his thumb up high. Brr. You have something for me? As you speak, he takes a few jumpy steps closer. Oh, that's way too close. You should. Hey, are you... A poof of smoke suddenly explodes from the Mushroom Man. Not smoke. Spores. He's hitting me with the spores. I'm going to become a zombie. Oh, no. A fungal attack. Ah, geez, I knew this would happen. Breathe, cleric. That is a gift. As the spores fall to the ground and the air clears, you feel a slight sting in your throat and nose. Brr. Oh, it is good. Thank you. Brr. This price is pretty crazy. He tells you the spores are helpful to you. Enjoy them. It's pretty crazy. Big mushroom, glowing mushroom, talking mushrooms. Brr. He agrees somewhat. Cool, maybe we can leave him be or come back later or something. Don't we have things to do? I guess we do. I guess we have things to go do. I guess. Fine, Snell. I guess we'll go, like, do our job. I'm gonna save real quick, though, before I forget. Snell's always just ruining my fun, you know? What's up with this guy? I'm gonna go through the weird labyrinth again. Oh, I don't have to do anything spooky this time? That sucks. I like the spooky stuff. That was fun. Spooky stuff is very fun. It's like half of the enjoyment, really. Why is it so dark? Hello? Hello? Oh, there we go. I'm like, sheesh, that is super uber dark. Like, holy moly. Okay, I think chat. Where the heck is this Nothic supposed to be? Oh. Damn. Adventurers sure have it tough. An unfortunate fellow. Got anything I can steal? Piece of paper. That's my piece of paper now, motherfucker. What does this say? You look at the wrinkled piece of paper. Its contents half legible through grime and stains. An adventuring log. However, there is something about this ranting text that could prove useful. I'm just going to understand the draconic text because I'm kind of a genius. So I can just instantly translate. The translation forms in your mind from what you remember from your Days of Towers courses. Our master will soon return. His descendants lay in wait. The great trove of Asuth sits within the walls of the lost seat, under the feet of the traitors. The great trove of Asuth, within the walls of the lost seat. I have found and spoken with the spirit of his firstborn son. Okay. His bones are caught in these arcane halls, kept stable by the presence of a filthy goblin chieftess. Wait, what? Who is Asuth again? I don't remember who Asuth is again, Chad. There's so many names. But apparently, the goblin chieftess is doing something with that. As long as she holds that ground, her divine remnants will not move. But I have sealed the entrance. Or his divine remnants will not move. But I have sealed the entrance. It will only open for a true follower. Hail Asuth, may fire sweep the coast. Well, that doesn't sound very good. So she is sealing. So the goblin is holding that? Dragon cultist wrote this. Oh, Asuth is one of the is the fire dragon. That makes sense. Wait a second. They sealed the entrance. It will only open for a true follower. Asuth, the ancient red dragon. Long dead. His followers believe he'll return. They always do. The trove of Asuth, a legendary hoard. These adventurers were hunting for it, and they failed obviously. A sealed entrance that only opens for a true follower. This paper might be the key, or at least part of it. Hail Asuth, may fire sweep the coast. You say the words aloud. Nothing happens. But you've memorized them now, just in case. Okay, that was neat. I look at the skeleton, human male, dead for months, maybe longer. His armor has been stripped away. Someone looted the corpse, or something. Sad sight. These tunnels eat people. What killed him? Hard to say. No signs of combat. He probably got lost. Oh yeah, we have Speak with Dead. Yo, Speak with Dead OP as fuck, actually. You begin the ritual. The words flow. The magic takes hold. The skull's jaw begins to move, clicking, scraping. The dead man is ready to answer. 5 questions, that's all you get. Okay, chat, big 5 questions. What were you searching for? The trove of Asuth. Dragon's gold, power. The legendary hoard. He was a treasure hunter. A failed one. 4 questions remaining. Where's the entrance to the trove? Past the roots. I knew it was something over there. It was inside those filthy goblins' stolen dwarven fortress. Now that's just uncalled for. He gives you a serious glance. We do not store dragon trove in the garden, nor the roots cleric. I can promise you that. Oh yeah, Snell? I'm pretty sure it's back there. Did you find the trove? No, sealed, couldn't enter. The phrase, it didn't work. You found something, but couldn't get inside. The cultist seal held. 2 questions left. What's your name? The jaw clicks open. Johnny Longcock. Ah, of course. What a name. How obscene. Surprisingly common among adventurers. All named after a certain famous pirate, Johnny Longneck. 1 final question. You got any regrets? No. Adventure is its own reward. Good man. The jaw stiffens. The magic fades. The dead man returns to silence. Well, that was a fun little bit. That's all you'll get from him. Well, that was informative and deeply unsettling. The trove of Asuth Interesting. You're not seriously thinking about going after it. Look at how that worked out for this guy. I'm more prepared than he was, Snell. Look at me, I know everything. Famous last words. Useful, I suppose. Alright, bye, corpse. Alright, chat, you know what that means. That means we gotta go on an adventure. We gotta go try and get this frickin' thingy. It'll be glorious, I tell you. I think it's this way, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to put on... What kind of gear check is it again? I don't remember. Let's see. Look beyond the roots, blah, blah, blah. Touch the roots. I know it's somewhere back there. It's back there. I know it is. Wait, I can't go past it this time? Oh, no, I can. Wait. Oh, I can speak with plants. Wait a second. Oh my god, that changes everything. I forgot I picked that up. Hello, plants. Can you please move? You touch the surface of the tree. The soft moss dampens your glove. Then you trace a spiral with your index finger. The primal magic causes the roots to stir. A deep rumble shoots through the chamber. Greetings, O great bracken tree. One of the roots reaches you, towards you. Is it hostile? I mean, doesn't feel like it. It's moving very, very slowly. Are you friendly, tree? Friend? The goblin takes a step back and clears her throat. I'll let you handle this. Making friends with trees isn't really my thing. Allow the tree to speak. The voice is wind, faintly rushing through moss and stone. A smell of wet, stagnant ponds and moldy basements fills your nose. Yes? I am friend, confirmed? Hello? The tree appears to growl, then it goes silent. Are we just standing here? He nods and takes another small step back. Okay, right? Then after several more seconds of nothing, but faint wind emanating from the roots, it speaks. Lord Pooh. That's your name, Lord Pooh, really? That is I, it growls. It is an honor. Yes, it is for you to speak with the Lord of the Earth. A great honor indeed, I bow my head. The tree lets out a moldy wind. It envelops you. Lord Pooh, who are you voting for in the election? Election? The wind turns yet again into a growl. It's very important I know that what the tree wants to vote for. Choose none. Lord Pooh, choose none. The tree knows the smartest way, clearly. Do you want to know who I'm voting for? No. Oh. The tree is silent before the faint wind. Just like that, you're not going to offer your opinion anyway? Nah, it's a tree. Not like it's going to listen to me anyhow. Right, but everyone else is just dying to hear your thoughts. Okay, Snell, you don't get it. Snell, you don't understand me, bro. You don't understand. Do you have something hidden within you? Can I gain access, tree, please? Putty, please. Lord Pooh holds the cache of Nessun, the Green Witch. Right, I've met her actually. Nice gal. Yes. The tree appears to agree with you wholeheartedly. There's nothing else to... What? They're not gonna let me through? Does not respond at first. I will be patient. Lord Pooh is not often in conversations. Oh, sorry. That's fair. I'm sorry that I'm asking you so many questions. What do you do here all day? Drink water, dig deep, eat earth. Simple as... The voice goes silent. A fascinating routine. Ask him if he hustles. Right, but do you hustle? The tree growls. Uh-oh. Then the wind slowly turns into a voice again, letting out a single word. Yes. Wait, the tree hustles? Well then, nice. Snell, you want to ask Lord Pooh anything? I'm cool. That's not good. He might catch a cold. He's saying he would rather not. Oh, it is a bit cold down here, but I'm not asking about that, Snell. I'm good. Well, that's all. You whisper to yourself the words to pull the strings around the mossy bark. Go now, you should not be waking. With that, the voice turns to wind, and then the wind turns to silence in the chamber. I should break down these roots, shouldn't I, huh? But at the same time, it would be difficult. The tree is ancient and powerful. There's clearly something hidden inside here. No. I bet I can get Nessun to let me behind the roots into the ancient cache. Ooh. I just gotta go up to her and be like, yo, Nessun, wanna tell the roots that I should be allowed to go here? I think that would be cool. What do you think? And then that'll probably work, right? I think it'll work. I mean, it would convince me, you know? Oh, Nessun. Oh, Nessun. I have something to ask you. Can you please let me into the secret cache, please? Hello. No, she doesn't want to let me into the secret thing. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Can I steal from you? Yeah, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. But you know what could potentially be worth it, chat? If I consume a dream patch, I can then go talk to the trees upstairs, outside. That could be something, right? Don't you think? Could be something good. Or it could be a complete waste of my time. We'll never know until we truly experience it. Yeah, I think we're kind of at the point. I just need to make sure I have as many things lined up before, Is this the same tree? Wait a second, is this the same tree? This might be the same tree. Also, I wasn't able to negotiate with... Alright, you know what, screw it. We'll talk to the tree and see if it's Lord Pooh again. Hello. Okay. Collect 1 grain of actual information, one of a deep and harrowing fear. It whispers once the song subsumes. Beware the cursed man, he who walks with claw and fire. Claw and fire? He does not know his god despite his delusions. Then the voice stops. This could be useful information. So a cursed man believing in a god, it's gotta be the paladin. A 3rd level spell slot for this? Do not waste any more time or resources on plants. I've got more questions though, plant. Oh, okay, well, I guess the plant hates me. The plant just fucking hates me, I guess. Kind of fucked up, if I'm being honest. All right, there's a couple of more things I want to do. So I have 5 reroll thingies left. I need to go buy some things. I'm gonna go buy things, chat. I'm gonna buy so many things. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have so many things by the end of it. It'll be amazing. Because I mostly just want to wait for it to become nighttime so I can buy a bunch of potions. So empty Afraidy bottle's not that good. Helmet's not really what I want either. Quite frankly, most of them I don't care about. You know what, chat? Fuck it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna save right here, and we're gonna walk into the pillar. Here we go. I've decided it's time. Although, actually, I should probably do it down underground so that maybe Etir will join us. Oh, wait, no, because we have to do it at the top, right? If I remember correctly, the game forces me to do it at the top. Dang it. Also, ads are about to happen, so I should probably do that after the ads. So I might just kick the ads off early. I go like 5 minutes early. Ooh. And then, well, technically it says 2 minutes early, but I don't believe it. I don't believe that at all. All right, let's go to Tolstad. And then I'm going to kick off the ads a bit early, chat, and then I'll see you after the break. And then we will go into the pillar. Ooh. All right, see you then. All right, I'm back. And it should almost be done. So, oh, I forgot to put up the BRB image. How dare I? I'm a failure, chat. I'm a failure of a streamer who doesn't remember to do these things. Anyways, all right, ads are done. So you know what that means. I'm going into the pillar, baby. Begin the process of entering the Pillar of Jor. Standing here at the pillar, you realize your goal is close. The quest is near finish. But you do not have a method to enter this esoteric relic, not yet. I should speak with Viskin. He might know something about this. That is very correct. The wizard will know. Okay, well, I guess I can't enter of my own accord. I have to, despite the fact that I can use the thing to travel, I need to get someone else's help to travel further beyond. Viskin, my favorite person of all time. Hello. How's it going? I would like to talk to you. I need help entering the Gate of Jor. Just a casual. I'm sure you do. Great, you can help me? He coughs once. Why not? He says it with such gusto. I knew I could count on you, buddy. The pale man glares at you with that expressionless expression. This is no major secret. However, the method is quite difficult. To enter the Pillar of Jor through the crack left in the gate, you will need astral projection. The 9th level spell? Indeed. You would need a spell scroll. That is the only reasonable manner to solve this. I can't cast 9th level spells. Undoubtedly. Rude. Can you cast the spell? Without a spell scroll, I cannot know. Do you know someone who does? No? Then how about a spell scroll? He nods. Precisely, cleric. A spell scroll of astral projection, an extremely powerful item, no doubt. However, it would not be so strange for one to be found in the halls beneath us. So, of course, despite your natural acumen for string manipulation, you do not possess the ability to cast 9th level spell scrolls reliably. If you acquire one, bring the scroll to me. I will cast it for you. You can cast 9th level spells? I can reliably cast 9th level spell scrolls, yes. Admittedly, that is no small feat, but it is not to be conflated with the power to freely wield 9th level magic. Doing so is unheard of since the Coast War. Well, I guess I'll go find a spell scroll of astral projection then. I'm afraid I cannot assist you in locating such an artifact. As such, I wish you good luck, cleric. Okay. Well, it turns out we need to actually find a weird spell scroll. Huh. I don't even know where I would find one, gang. I guess, like... So there's not many places I haven't been, unless it's like a hidden zone. I guess I can go to, the one guy's place, right? The little gnome boy. Maybe he has something going on. Maybe it's in this trash pile. You never know. 25 gold, mine. Free money, fuck yes. All mine. It's all mine. Oh, I should probably go talk to the, didn't she want something? The hag down below? I'll have to go into the thing when I get the chance. Once it gets late enough. That might be a good idea. Maybe the Freest Riders somehow have a 9th level spell scroll. That would be very convenient. That would be very convenient for me indeed. Unless maybe, you know, the Goblin Lady also has a 9th level spell scroll, if I'm lucky. But I have a feeling she would not want to share it. What about in the cache? Am I able to... anything else in here still? There's that one thing. There's that right there. What is it? I can't even see what that is. It's like a... what is it? I don't know. I wish I had Mage Hand. That would be very convenient if I had that, you know? But, you know, alas, not everyone can have Mage Hand. Watch, it turns out that the gnome that I'm about to go talk to is the one who gives you Mage Hand. And I could have had this, like, hours ago, days ago, in fact. I could have had this for so freaking long. Hello, gnome boy? Are you in here? Snur Appledent, hello? He's fucking sleeping. Alright, wake up. You take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of a sleeping halfling. Oh, sorry, halfling, my bad. Is this a scholar? Curse the gods, go investigate his book collection before waking the lazy halfling. I'm gonna kick the lounge chair. Gah! He exclaims and throws open his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. What? Terrible, terrible pain, oh, he mutters and rubs his face. He's pretty old and tired. Are you? He looks at you with his weary expression, then rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? A quick glance to Snell. His words come out in a typical Fordnip accent. What? The invoice. Should I have an invoice?
Huh?
No. No? No? Oh. Well, this is a whole situation, isn't it, huh? Oh, hold on. I've already paid that invoice. You're here for something different. He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar. He holds up a palm. Nah, we're here on city business. I'm exploring random buildings and yours was unlocked. That's not... So you are a trespasser of benevolent intent. I guess that's not too far off. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. Wizard. And you as well, my goblin friend. He looks around, grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water or wait, what? Bro, where'd that come from? You like this guy. He's like a rabid dog without the biting, so far. This halfling is wild, in a fun way. No, thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're Scholar Appledent, right? Me, yes. I am Snur Appledent, he says, and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Fordnip University, in dedicated service to the progress of AIS. AIS, short for Alignment Intent Studies. It's a very specialized field of study that focuses on the esoteric effect of alignment, its practical uses, and the various ways to interact with it. But what exactly do you do? Many things. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. Wow. Psychoanalysis, a controversial and modern form of mind healing, based on various methods proposed by the famous scholar, Cividix. Cividix, Lord Scholar Federnex Cividix, a famous Reedian who pioneered psychoanalysis. He died about 20 years ago. Ah yes, he's a scholar of Cividix. Modern psychoanalysis is an offshoot of his methods. The Cividix method? You read a wonder of the clerical trade. It is form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be the one to call it support instead. It is essentially the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and that through dialogue, our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. You mean, he's talking about feelings? You're a psychologist? I know, truly horrifying. Goddamn, feelings are horrifying. A Reedian friend of mine once told me this joke, and I apologize if it's too vulgar for your taste, but he sputters out the words through little chortles. I listened to the joke. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into a lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all three men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows a fancy to them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, he speaks with little fits of laughter in between, she ends them, so to say. You actually haven't heard this one. If it is sacrilegious, you'll have to beat the gnome. Oh. Okay, nod along. So the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin and will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eye as he listens to the joke. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later, completely unharmed, and gives a thumbs up to his two friends, who of course both feel a great sense of relief. The Arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue is horrified, but realizes obviously the Arcanist overestimated his abilities, so he carefully enters the bedchamber, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber, and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrades and gathers their remains for burial. The succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. "I don't get it." "Oh," the halfling chortles loudly. "My kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such a reparation could often lead to a not-so-optimal path." He keeps on laughing. "Or most simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil, or is it good? And so on." Either way, psychoanalysis, yes, that's what we're talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you've made, things that have happened to you. I think I finally get the joke, chat. There's a lot going on there, but I finally understand it. They can bog you down, so to say, and the goal in my clinical practice is to root that out in my patients' minds and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will, so one can move forward more speedily. Okay, Gnome. Chop. Do you got 9th level spell scroll around here I can have? That's all I want. That's all I care about. "I don't have any repressed negative feelings." A bold claim, but it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of animus. It's something to do with masculinity and femininity, based on Civitix's ideas. You explore men and women? Poor phrasing, but yes. Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unverified theories. He slaps his knees and grins. The folk spirit, have you heard of it? It's something he made up. Doesn't mean it's not correct, though. I have not. Understandable, it's not yet published. The folk spirit is the working title for my new thesis. Most of it, if you excuse my aneurin, fucking bullshit. But in short, it is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes or myths. I have traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally. All to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Let us put a stop to it. What would you like, Cleric? What do you want, Cleric? Oh god, that's a lot. You're a halfling, right? Give me your thoughts on the Clanland ordeal. Right into the most controversial subject. Ordeal? He scratches his nose and looks up into the air. You're not interested? Interested? Of course I'm interested. My homeland is a shell of broken people. The clans in my kin, especially those stuck under occupation across the Golden Line, they are being systematically destroyed, step by step, as the Horde marches into Ascani land. I read about that. The Golden Horde claimed a part of Ascan. A big chunk, yes. Then they put up that esoteric wall. He grunts. The Clanlands deal, this armistice, was seen by many as a practical solution, since only 2 clans were left to be enslaved and integrated as Horde tributaries. The Clanlands deal. In 13 BE, 14 years ago, a fragile peace was signed in the Halfling Clanlands to the west of Norvik. The Golden Horde have since been a powerful ally of the city. He slams his hand to the side of the chair. It is a band-aid. Celestials view time in centuries, while we see in decades at best. Thus, they can take one piece at a time, with generational acceptance in between. It is the most clean method of genocide, one of radiant ghosts and insidious toxic love. Did you live in the Clanlands? Sorry, I gotta drink water. Yeah. That a little bit. My. One sec. Oh, God. Swallowed some spit wrong. All right. Oh, God. Oh, good. That voice cracked. All right. We should be good after I'm done almost dying here. When the golden line was drawn? Yes. It's not that interesting, but I was on the western side when it happened. There wasn't enough food to go around, so I pulled some strings to smuggle myself east. It's a whole story. I can't say much more. My clan, the Appledents, all live in Tipberry, so it's not some big personal tragedy on my part. Tipberry, the only major town between the Fort Nip Commonwealth and Viz Ka. It's more of a folkish destruction, a grander trauma. Something generational, even if I was there to witness it. I imagine you would feel something similar about the Coast War. Huh. He scratches his mustache. Why do they want the Clanlands so badly? He waves his hand. It's a basic resource conflict. Oh. Amber, you know, Electrum. Ah, the Celestials want their magical rocks. The Commonwealth is the only reliable source of amber for the many, many esoteric use cases. Spell storing, item crafting, concentration, esoteric attunement. It is an extremely useful material, a powerful one. So it really is no wonder the Horde wants to expand their Golden Line. If Norvik was more reliant on amber as a resource, I'm sure they too would covet those hills. But trading with the Halflings does not seem so different from trading with the Horde, at least not today. Is there resistance in Fort Nip? Of course, it's a whole damn mess. Ignoring the actual guerrilla resistance west of Line, there's been a massive rally around anti-celestial sentiment in the east. They have attempted sanctions with Norvik VK and even Ilum backing. There's even been coast-spanning outreach all the way to Kargamesh to build some type of coast-spanning halfling coalition. Nothing works. The Horde has a finger on most every trade port. They own land and hold strong ties to every regime. Even Norvik has not officially backed their neighbors. Without Earth, and with Lady Fair not so existing, they are, as the kids say, it steamed. The kids do not say that. As you can imagine, the halfling population of the hills are not too happy about this, but what can they do? An Asgal victory might change things, but the Free Striders are in the celestial pockets, as are the Patriarchs. So yes, there is resistance, but as of yet, there is no practical way out of this frog being boiled, I'm afraid. He is correct. The Golden Horde is performing impeccably in this geopolitical play. Are the Celestials influential in Norvik? Yes. They have a lot of soft power and trade mostly. The Horde ambassador is known to fling their contracts around like a devil in disguise, mostly to stop halfling-owned corporations from operating without major hassle. Any halfling would tell you the same. They luckily don't care for tiny clinics like my own, but... He sniffs. They will not stop in the material realm. They must go into the psychic as well. What? Wait, what? The Golden Horde, their annexation of land is just the final step. Before that comes many little crushings of thoughts and dreams and a tyranny of pure ideology. They shape perceptions to maintain control. That is indeed what they are doing. Pure soft power expansionism. What will happen to them? Tomorrow? Nothing. In a decade? Not much. Fort Nip will still stand by the time I die, in 30 or 40 years, but by the end of this new era, my homeland will surely be eradicated. That is my estimation. Okay, well that was a fun topic. What about this folk spirit? Imagine, if you will, the origin of our stories. Sure. Good. As sentient folk, we clearly have the base ability to come up with random ideas and turn them into emotionally resonant tales. I understand that completely, bro. Tales that explore the condition of life itself and make us feel many things. But an interesting thing happens if one were to study the core parts of these stories. That even if we look at stories crafted in entirely different bands, separate isolated tribes, or even in worlds outside Jor itself, there's overlap. Humans who live in the remote mountains of Yim have the same repeated tropes in their foundational myths as humans in Reeds. Same for halflings. The Stormbloods of Kargamesh have the same variations as my people in Fordnip, despite being separated in esoteric evolution by at least 10 millennia. It's as if every folk is haunted by a spirit, like an unconscious collective dream of concepts and ideas that follow us. Even when those separate folk originate from entirely different worlds, could you imagine? Two folk arrive through two separate gates of Jor. They are alien to one another culturally, spiritually, biologically, yet they share those core myths. That is what I am saying. Don't let him rant anymore, please. That is very interesting. Isn't it? Most importantly, it's provable. It's like a type of collective unconscious spread across each folk type. How is it provable? Reproducibility analysis. Cultures and folk who had no contact with one another, even originating from different worlds, both have the same core myths, narrative traits, archetypes, repeated tropes. It's the same method used when uncovering ancient dead languages, using common denominators to narrow down similarities and differences. He adjusts his muscles. Now, there hasn't been that much reproducibility yet from my peers. I'm still working on getting other scholars in on this topic. What happens when two folk types merge? Ah, yes, he lifts a finger. No clue. It is even harder to pinpoint due to the nature of merging cultures. In cases like humans and dwarves here in Norvik, there's more data, but not enough to say anything of note. But it seems to me like the folk spirit remains pure in a sense, in one direction or the other. For example, humans can obviously reproduce with dwarves, but the offspring is always, aesthetically and biologically speaking, very human, which does not make sense biologically. We are, scientifically speaking, different species. Dogs do not breed with cats, do they? Or do they? The same effect can be seen in most functional folk mixing breeding. Logically, it should not be. Evolutionary adaptation dictates the creation of a mixture, not a one-sided creature. So it is theorized to be some type of powerful esoteric effect that allows this reproduction to take place. In the scholarly community, we call it the Oso effect, one-sided offspring. Doesn't that mean dwarves would eventually stop existing in Norvik and just become human? That is a good question. If two people live alongside one another for a long enough time, and they reproduce with one another equally, but the offspring are all aesthetically human, then yes. Eventually, there would only be one people, and it would be a people who look human. However, there is a big factor in charge here. That is the elusive and enticing topic of mating preference. There's not much proven data I can point to, but if you allow me to speculate, then I would say only a minority of the population of any tribe will ever have a strict preference for mating outside of that tribe. Without a basic assumption like that, I do not believe the tribe itself would remain intact enough for civilization to emerge. So in the case of dwarves and Norvik, I do not believe the two tribes can ever truly merge. Cooperate, yes. Cohabitate, of course. Even mingle and date and crossbreed, absolutely, why not? But merge? No, impossible. Of course, this assumption ignores the Oso effect, so it feels a bit crackpotty. Take it as you wish. Okay then. You know a lot about this topic, huh? Once again, I'm afraid this is all coming from experiments performed by arcanists. Horrifically so. Okay, so you think the folk spirit follows the one-sided offspring? Maybe. I've not done enough work to say anything for sure, nor have I been peer-reviewed, nor am I a very sane or stable individual. You love to hear it when someone says that sentence. Nor am I not a sane or stable individual. He grins. So it's a type of collective unconscious. A very fancy way to phrase it. I would say if all sentient folk shared those same core traits, it would be exactly that. I do look for that. The possibility of distilling not the core myths of each folk, but of all sentience. It would not surprise me if there was another layer to this puzzle. Okay. The goblin crosses his arms, ready to hear your comment. The halfling scholar leans in back in his armchair. I think you've got something cool kicking here. Oh, do you? He gives you a quick nod. It's an interesting idea, the collective unconscious. I would not spend my old age here if I did not agree to, in some deep sense. Thank you for listening to my rant, cleric. I think you mean wizard. You as well, my goblin friend. You're welcome? I don't know. How does death and resurrection work with all? Actually, what are you voting in the election? I'm a filthy Asgalist. Oh, why? Why you call it filthy? Have you ever seen a clean Asgalist? Oh, he laughs at his own joke. Joke. The green banner is flown in a strange context here in this Republican wet dream of ours. Asgalism is supposed to be about abolishing the entire structure of hierarchy. That history is driven by economic struggles, specifically the clash between classes. Asgal's end goal is a classless, stateless society where everyone's equal. But looking at the Norvikian Asgalists, it's clear to me they long ago let this goal slip past. Look at them. They are shaking hands with the establishment, trying to find a peaceful solution, they say. You want violent revolution? He frowns. Look, the hairy halfling mutters. Genuine change, true change, needs a truly revolutionary break with the existing order. There is no doubt about that. Incremental reforms, small changes within the capitalist system, will always fail to address its fundamental contradictions and injustices. My time in Reeds made that clear to me. But always be wary of simplistic utopian visions. It is a path covered in corpses that leads such blind idealism. So I will vote for this social democratic compromise. This handshake with capital. Then I'll go home and piss myself and die, dreaming the next generation will have answers I do not. That's a one way of putting it. You think I agree, part of me does. But I truly hate this idea of tipping the hat to these truly fascist regimes. And yes, even the revolutionary freestriders are fascist in a deep sense. How do you think they got their start? Through the coin of those who profited in the great suffering of Old Diminor, in the Coast War, and grinding the flesh of humanity. Freestriderism is filthy opportunism, not republicanism. They are just arcanist regimes with a painted mask and slightly less horrific esoterical power in hand. Slightly. They did get the election started. So what, we don't even try to bring about Asgal's dream? They did get the election started, though. They make elections happen when they are able to win them. But aren't the nationalists likely to win this one? That is both opportunism and imperialism at its worst. With a deep groan, he starts rubbing his hairy face. I just want to, keep getting more thoughts out of this guy. Workers unite in unionization and guild power. It's all well and good until it gets too loud. Makes a bit too much noise, and the true powers quickly and efficiently drop this illusionary mask, facade, the esoteric spell that tricks us into thinking they care, or that they are in any way Fulcarian. So what about you, cleric? You're voting Asgalist, I presume? I'm voting for the Freestriders, or I could become the new god, wizard, king, emperor of Norvik. Oh, who is that? I did not see that dude on the card. Me, of course. You view every societal issue through an arcanist lens, he nods. What are your qualifications? Come on, sell it to me. Why should you be king? Do it. Show him your intellect. He sniffs. Now for something else, before I start ranting about the suffragette movement. Your companion glances at you. Yes, please, I really, really want to know what you think about the suffragettes. The halfling wags a finger at you. You're a brave man, cleric. Thanks. Wink. Stop doing that. He can't even see it. When the first talks of an election began, it was late Arcane era, about 30 years ago. In those early days, the suffragettes were mostly dwarven women. They had the backing of a few hardcore universal Asgilus sects that had remained since the Great Project concluded. Great Project, a period of 12 years where a mass of dwarves immigrated to the newly reconquered and founded Norvik to be employed in the construction of the city. Okay. But when Earth died and talks of an election grew loud, the dwarven women had a hard time getting through, both because of the less progressive Asgilists and, of course, the traditional cultural practices of the Earth folk. So the movement didn't kick into gear properly until, of course, human women decided to join. Go on. Mind you, this was after almost 2 decades of dwarven women pushing for universal suffrage. Within just a few years, with the voice of angry rich human women yelling and writing and protesting, the palace patriarchy gave in. That's the history lesson, but here's the part I'm fucking furious over. What? Those rich human women? Do you know what happened to them? I'll tell you, many of them today are fascists. Can you imagine? They run an incredible campaign in order to get the right to vote, to break their chains of oppression, piss off the tyrannical men, smash the patriarchy, and so on, all to throw their lot in with that very same traditionalist ideology. An ideology that clearly wants to, well, of course, also just not have any voting going on at all, but specifically not allow women to vote. This game has way too many on-topic NPCs. Well, I'll let you know, I tell you, it's a political game. Very political. That's ridiculous. Why would they do that? I'd ask the same. A part of me thinks that it has to do with some type of opportunism. These are women whose time in the spotlight ended once they won the right to vote. Suddenly, their entire platform of activism disappeared overnight. But even still, why nationalists? Perhaps there is some, if you don't mind me speculating wildly, some type of perverse psychosexual thing at play here? Or it is simply a question of class? It probably is, yes, probably. They are mostly a group of rich people, and that would logically supersede their identity as women. If the rich human position in society is threatened, they have more to lose as rich than as women. It's a complex topic, and I don't have fucking time to thinking about it, even though I want to desperately figure it out. Whenever this guy just randomly adds, like, the word fucking into it, like, starts swearing in a sentence, it just throws me off. But, that is just something I'm fascinated by, The halfling rants about things he is trying to understand. He's able to capture an audience that way clearly. His points are somewhere close to coherent. Anyway. So, uh-oh, he's about to drop a bomb. Can I mention it? Am I allowed? What? What are you about to say, Snell? About your mom? Oh, yeah. Oh, sure, I don't care. Oh, well, it's not often I get to ask this part, because our mom is one of the nobles who were fancy and now they're a fascist. Classic. Well, it's not often I get to ask this particular question, but I am intrigued, so I will. Why is your mother a fascist? I don't know. I don't know. Too bad. If you find out, then please. I am dying to know. You're not. Let's avoid this topic in the future. You don't talk to your mother very often, let alone about politics. Okay. What do you know about the tea shop, the one that exploded? How horrific. He gestures wildly towards the rocky wall. Shit started shaking. It was as if the red rock of Tolstad itself was cracking, for half a second or so. Were you down here when it happened? Yes. I think I was asleep, but the sound awoke me. Did you check it out? No. Someone told me later what it was like. I have work to do here. You hear anything? You should not believe rumors, cleric. But yes, I did hear some nasty stuff. Also, you meant to say wizard? I did hear some nasty stuff. Some people seem to think the owner did it himself, since he is missing. Others think the city did it, since they printed a clear lie in the post. I've also heard people say the Asgilists are responsible, since it was their hideout. Or that the Freestriders did it for the same reason, blowing up Asgilist opposition and so on. It's all bullshit, of course. Don't believe rumors. What do you think happened, He shrugs violently. Well, I've got other questions. Um, I got some personal questions for you. And nothing too interesting there, he says and sniffs. I see no reason why you would investigate an old halfling with nothing good to grant into the world. You seem interesting enough, though. Kind of you, but you are wrong. My work is the only thing that is interesting, I assure you. Fine, keep your secrets, old man. You're an expert in alignment, huh? Somewhat. I wrote my masterpiece on the subject. That should account for somewhat of an understanding on the subject. But not enough. Never enough. Oh god, that's a lot. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. A lot of yapping. Can you train your alignment? Of course, any creature is capable of leaning in the axis depending on their day-to-day actions. Oh, just like that? It's not easy. If that's what you're thinking. Look, like all things, it's messy. Let's say you're lawful evil. I am. He looks you up and down, then he continues. You find that being labeled as evil is bad for your business or your work prospects, as one might. So you choose to donate a large sum of money to a charity that will inevitably help thousands. You might even save some lives with those spent coins. I'm such a good guy. Of course. In this case, you've performed an objectively good, selfless action for evil, selfish reasons. So what happens next? He points at you. Nothing. But I did a good thing. You remain lawful evil. But let's change the parameters. Instead, you are a lawful evil man who genuinely wishes to repent, to pay for the many evil things you've done in your life before. If this man performs a selfless action with the intention of selflessness, then all of a sudden, it will begin a shift in his alignment. So intention is all that matters? Yes. This effect has obviously been studied for centuries. It's aptly named Alignment Intent Studies. I personally received my scholarship through studying delusional intent. Wait, what? Delusional intent? What? We gathered a large amount of very mentally unwell people, mostly from local prisons and post-war reads, who truly believed in a very different worldview than most others. For example, this one man was certain that he had to kill his fellow man, or the world would end, one murder a week. An extreme delusion. However, any detection spell showed him to be neutral good. He felt terror about all of the murders he had committed. He was not selfish, in fact, he was more selfless than most, willing to perform acts that horrified him in order to save us all. The objective outcome of his actions mattered not, no more than the outcomes of the actions of a person under a charm spell. I see. Does this mean everything I do is branded as good, evil, chaotic, or lawful? Even this that I'm saying right now? In some small sense, yes. The very act of speaking, no matter what you say, will always give you very, very small points in any direction. Watch the game at the very end be like, we thus declare you lawful evil or chaotic evil. Although, could you imagine trying to keep track of it all? It would be insane. So no person would ever go to such length. So no need to keep track of stuff like that. It will only drive you mad. How do you end up with your alignment to begin with? Are you born with it? No. All creatures are born true neutral, and all reported metrics show babies are unable to perform alignment shifts until the age of about 3 to 7, depending on the folk. But interestingly enough, it's shown that most people will only perform 1 or 2 alignment shifts in their entire lifetime. He scratches his cheek and sniffs a couple of times during adolescence. After that, less than a tenth of folk will ever shift again. And that is fairly substantially verified data as well. So essentially, despite having free will, folk will always lean towards the natural behavior over time. Okay. I've made my decision. Wait, what was the decision? I'm sorry? I want to be lawful evil, baby. Let's do it. That is not how it works, cleric. You have to be incredibly deluded, and I mean absolute living in your own world mentally unstable in order to simply decide what your alignment were and actually get an outcome from it. But I suppose it can't hurt. Good luck being, sorry, what did you choose again? It was, yes? Lawful good, of course. Give until your bones hit the pavement. Makes more sense to focus on yourself. without being constricted by the rules. Chaotic, then. Perhaps a chaotic evil. Maybe don't say that out loud. Lawful evil. Structure with you on top, obviously. See, that's what I'm saying, intelligence. You're not gonna like it, but the goal is to end up on top right, win every conversation, and you're not really moving along the axis of law, so you're neutral evil. Though seriously, whatever you do not tell that to the halfling. You should just opt out. I want to be lawful evil. A law-abiding citizen with nothing but himself in the mind. Lovely. He nods. Good luck with that, cleric. Okay, thanks. What does good mean? What a question. I cannot offer a universal answer, and that is impossible, of course. But from the data, there are a few ways of distilling the essence of goodness. For example, the amount of good you are is directly correlated with the amount of time you spend inside your own mind, worrying about how much pain you've inflicted upon the world. Yep, I get that. I see what you're talking about. And of course, practically, it also means performing selfless actions. Performative sacrifices done entirely for the purpose of helping others. Instant goodness. Okay. What does evil mean? Most people would say they know it when they see it, but practically, it means selfishness. For example, a person with a mental pathology that disallows compassion and empathy, making them naturally only hold care for no one but their own self, that is naturally an evil individual. But at the same time, we are all basically evil, egotistical, disgusting creatures in the end, if push comes to shove, as they say, since obviously all of us have a part that is focused more on our own survival rather than the survival of the forest. Hello, Mario. Hello, Percy. It is me, Amario. We're getting into political theory of what it means to, or I guess it's more philosophical theory of what it means to be good and evil. And I'm evil. What does chaotic mean? Now that can be difficult to parse sometimes. We've done many experiments to try to distill the exact meaning of it. It's difficult, mainly because who decides what is law? Gods? Your local government? Village elder? No. What is chaos and order is universal. A law can be chaotic, as contradictory as it sounds, if its dictation brings chaos into the world. But generally, what we found is that there are a few common rules that chaos follows. Breaking down structures, whether that is a building or a hierarchy of society. Lies, in fact, any action out. You know, I know you just want to break up the lecture because, you know, the lecture's like really, really boring, but I gotta finish the lecture, okay? Class is not dismissed. I gotta keep reading. Lie is, in fact, any action that purposefully goes against a known truth is considered chaotic. And of course, randomization. Rolling a dice is an inherently chaotic act, as in any form of gambling. That's actually one of the easier ways of measuring chaotic behavior. We used to go to the local gambling parlor. Good times. That's what happens when you're evil. What does lawful mean? Lawful actions can be difficult to perform. It's all about building. Crafting buildings for one, or hierarchies of structure, keeping families intact and orderly, organizations, as well as following the truth. There have been many tyrannical, lawful governments throughout history that quickly succumbed to chaos due to their warping of the truth itself. But then again, if you can convince people to enter another reality, if you will, where a lie is true, then all of a sudden the folk in that reality will be lawful, despite working and living in a lie. It can get very convoluted and fascinating. Who decides what any of this means? There are theories. Some say it's the gods. Some say it's Jor himself who controls the parameters in this world of his. Some believe it's simply inscribed into the universe, an absolute law. What do you think? I do not know. If I had to guess, I would say it is something overlapping between worlds. Mostly because I do not believe Jor, from all I've read, to be smart enough to make up a system as complicated as this on his own. Does alignment even matter? Oh, not in any real way. It can be a tool, but if you cannot read it properly, seeing a man branded with chaotic evil means nothing. But if you learn, it can be used to understand folk better. You can statistically expect an evil person to act in their own interest, and you can expect a good person to act in the interest of others. A smart man can use this to his advantage, which is also an evil act, I believe. Funny how it goes. Why isn't it illegal to be evil? Might as well make it illegal to be sentient. Branding it evil might be the core problem there. There were arcanists who created alternate naming conventions for alignments, altruism and egotism, for example, but it did not catch on, as they say. But everyone has to be evil sometimes. Imagine your family is starving, alongside 2 other families who are also starving. The other families are smaller folk who only need half as much food. Would you feed your own family or sacrifice them to feed the other 2 families? I feed my own family, bro. That is a normal answer, yes. But what exactly is objectively considered in alignment terms in this scenario? Is it selfish to care for your own people before others? Has it more to do with the exact number of people who live or die, suffer or prosper, in a purely utilitarian perspective? These questions have all been asked before, and have arguably been answered. From what we can see, especially looking at the data collected from horrendously unethical experiments performed by arcanist scholars, it's just about intention. If a man chooses to focus on his own family, but feels really bad about the other starving families, then he will be more good than another man who does not think of the other's suffering at all. The proximity rule states that the emotional distance between yourself and the target determines the level of selfishness. If you sacrifice your life to protect your family, that's more selfish than if you sacrifice your life for a stranger. The latter is more good. Proximity rule, a rule of alignment. If an action is taken for the benefit of a target, then if said target is closer emotionally to you, it will result in a less good action. If a target is further away from you, such as a stranger, performing selfless actions for them will result in more goodness. So in the end, a genuinely selfless person will always have a much easier time being branded with good than a naturally selfish one. He scratches his hairy eyebrows simultaneously. By the gods, I talk too much. Make me stop. Okay, we're done talking. Should I do the death and resurrection? I can't spend my entire time here, chat. There's a lot going on. I'll ask about the death and resurrection one, because that one's probably like actual. I'm not going to ask what is love. That's going to be a waste of my time. Can one spontaneously resurrect? I died in the river and then woke up in the Lich House. Hello. This is how I'm introducing myself to you. Ah, Viskin's work then. He looks you up and down. When I first opened up the office here, I was informed in hushed tones to not interact with that man. I mean, everyone loves Viskin, come on. Everyone loves Viskin, actually. Obviously, he's the first guy I went to chat with. We exchange books sometimes. Lovely man. I like him too. He's cool. Understandable, considering he raised you from the dead. He's clearly the most dangerous and powerful creature in the city. Or, maybe top 3. He's probably doing some type of secret experiment in that lair of his. One day I hope to hear more about it. Is there a soul? Tell me. The fuck do I know? Damn. He laughs. Ghost exists, of course, as do wraiths and other foul, undead spirit things. And there is much arcanist data There's much arcanist data on such things, like if a person is resurrected, their ghost ceased to be. That implies the ghost is the soul, right? But Speak with Dead does not, in fact. A ghost is technically able to ask questions to its own corpse. Very surreal. Which implies the soul also leaves a conscious remnant of itself, which is able to be animated through magic. Dude, that's what I do for my D&D world, bro. That's my lore. Bro, they're stealing my lore. Totally stealing, totally not that they came up with it independently of me. Literally impossible. And if a person is resurrected, even after very long periods of time, they will have no memory of their time as a free soul. Thus, there is evidence that the soul is not so much your personhood, that shit is all up in the brain from what we can see, but rather just some type of divine spark, like a power source that wants to be one with the universe, or your god. The Lich is specifically a creature who consumes these so-called souls for their own gain, which is not very common. Destruction of that magical spark is, of course, a horrid crime of metaphysical levels, since resurrection, rebirth, or unity with one's god is impossible at that point. But then again, back in the day, it used to be common for mortals to sell their souls to various devils or aberrations. So you're saying I should sell my soul, right? I suppose the more interesting question is to ask is, do you even own your soul? And who are you in relation to your soul? Whoa. Can one spontaneously resurrect themselves? I've not heard of such a thing, but why not? Can death change your nature? A frown spreads across his face. Necromancers in old arcane era traditions did much study on the topic. And yes, death and subsequent resurrection can function as a reset for the mind in a way, but arguably no less than any other severe trauma. The data is hard to trust, however, so I will not say it for sure. There is much study to do on the topic, and I am no expert. Okay, now I actually have to leave you, dude. I got shit to do. All right, I got places to be. It's dusk time, which means we can go to the bar. We're going to the beach. Wait a second. I just realized something. Wait. Could I have gotten into the warehouse by one of the top door there, or is this going somewhere else completely? I have no clue. A goods hatch. Because that's a different building, right? Is it not? Pretty sure that's a completely separate building. So, like, that might actually lead me to something completely new. So I'm gonna go talk to this griffin real quick and see if I can give it the griffin treats or whatever. Hello, griffin. I'm going to wake it gently through understanding and empathy. There's still a high chance I fuck it up. I didn't fuck it up for once. Holy shit. I actually succeeded a wisdom check. How does one wake a sleeping grumpy creature? I scream at it. Almost, but not. The answer is simple. You sing. Oh, okay. What's the song I know in my head? Wow, I'm blanking really hard. Okay, I give up. Cleric. The goblin hisses at you and points at the claws sharp. A little lullaby will do. Oh, little birdie, spread your wings. Don't be afraid of the deep, dark things. Crawling and creeping and being so bad. Everyone wants you to not be sad. Wow, so good. Now wake up! Hello. Oh, so you can get past now. Did you make that up on the spot? The beast didn't slash your throat yet. Wonderful. Thank you, Griffin. It yawns in a way you didn't think creatures with beaks could do, and gives you a tired look. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe you're alive. The goblin mutters under his breath as he too slowly shimmies past the beast. Sometimes it pays off to be handsome and talented. You hear that, chat? So handsome, so talented. Look at these horns. Aren't they just lovely? Lovely, lovely horns. You approach the goods hatch. This is a very small goods hatch. This whole building appears to have been repurposed into a warehouse. Otherwise, making it this tiny would have been very silly. Don't think the Free Striders will be too happy with someone sneaking in through the roof. The goblin squats down and grabs the rusty hanglock. But damn, look at this rusty thing. They really don't value security. Dude, literally DC 0 check. Easy. So fucking easy. Did a nat 20 on this check? Holy shit, baby. It's just that simple. With just a bit of finesse, the lock cracks open. Quite literally, this rusty piece of shit won't ever close again. There we go. Great job. Alright, we go into the hatch. Alright, well... Meek will help Master climb. Meek can hold rope with teeth. Very strong. Yo, I forgot about Meek. I love Meek. We love Meek. Alright. Does this just get me into the room that I already have access to? It does. Okay, well, you know, it was a fun little bit we did there, you know? Fun little bit of fun. Wasn't that fun, chat, doing a little, like, super spy entrance bullshit? Hey, rude guy. Don't call Master rude. I'll call anyone I want anything I want. And why is your scarf talking? Is there something I could do to get you to look the other way? Look, I'm bound here, you know. Only higher orders would allow me to look the other way. Higher orders? Its size, a puff of smoke wisps into the air. If you were an elemental lord or something, that'd change things. But you're not, so... Prove that I'm a worthy elemental lord by sticking my hand in the fire. Okay, I give up. Okay, I give up. I really want to see what's in the mirror, but I guess I can't. It's not to be. Let's see if the owl person has anything to say. Hello? Hello? Hey, yo. Nope. Okay, you got nothing for me. Okay, bye. I'm going to the tavern. Okay, chat, I have no fucking clue where we're gonna find this scroll. I might have to make a deal with that weird aberration, but there must be a scroll. There has to be a scroll somewhere in the world, right? I just have no clue where it would be. And I think I should try and track down... Wait, who's this? Oh, is that... Oh, it's him. Oh, I never beholded him. I forgot to do that. Whoops. This is the type of man who knows exactly where he is going and is simply going there very slowly and deliberately. He knows his expertise. His moves are calculated, his journey long. The esoteric is closely tied with scholarly arts. In the old days, no distinction between the two was made. But today, in this modern world, his side is all but winning. I really like that he has higher charisma. His intelligence isn't actually that high, despite being a scholar. All right, so we got the dwarves. Anything new with you, buddy?
Huh?
Cleric of Norvik, blah, blah, blah. Like you said, the pickaxe didn't really work properly, but I got the spell out of it. Great to hear. I mainly used it as a regular pickaxe, to be honest. So good to hear it's gotten a bit of actual esoteric use. Okay. What about you, Miss Rixbitter? Anything new? I did not mean to say that. God damn it. Fuck. No. All right, another topic. All right, bye. Can talk to the Sphinx. Hello, Sphinx. Do you give out riddles? Certainly. Are you ready? Rhetorical. Yes, please. I love riddles. She finishes the last bit out of her barrel and puts it down with a slam. Then the Sphinx leans in, hissing. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to the wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. She raises her paw and gestures to the open chamber. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's thrall. What am I? Why does she get confused at the end? She's a Sphinx. Help her remember. Oh, wisdom. Oh, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. You silly pal. Easy. The answer is wine, specifically grape wine. Clinging to trellises eliminates many other fruits. And grape wine has been made for generations. Though given that this is an entry-level riddle, you imagine simply wine will suffice. Your companion smirks and gives a little chuckle. He knows. Wait, why do I have to make a guess? I already know the answer. What do you think, Snell? The Sphinx turns to Snell with a frown. Oh, this seems like a personal riddle. For you, not me. So I'm just gonna watch, alright? Okay. I guess I'll make a guess even though we already identified the answer. What do I get if I get it right? Satisfaction. Oh, well. What happens if I get it wrong? Same as all those who wander these halls. You will lose everything eventually. She means your only pain upon failure will be existence itself, a mortal life. Okay, well, I'll do my little guess. That's exactly the number I needed, holy shit. Your mind settles on a singular possibility for the simple riddle. Matured in shadows, with no doubt in your mind the answer is, obviously it is wine. Obviously, once in the sun, matured in shadows. Been around for a long time, life of the ball, a draught? It is clearly, obviously even, wine. Good, now tell the Sphinx. The answer is wine, because I'm very good at solving riddles. Wine? She gives you an intense stare. She's totally gonna eat you. Time for a fight, she is strong. But you will defeat her handily with the power of a hero. Fool, there is no fighting a Genosphinx in her lair. If she wants you gone, then you will find yourself 1,000 feet below the surface of Lake Kuja. Yeah, it's wine. Olzes picks up a new barrel of wine. She pops the cork open. Wine, yes, that is very correct, little one. Wonderful job, another riddle solved. Huzzah! Don't. Since you're so amazing, would you be interested in a quest? Yes, I want a quest. I want a quest. Give me a quest. Yes, yes, yes. You love that the stats each talk to you? Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like the little personalities, like similar to Disco Elysium. But hello, Misa. She gives you a serious expression. My favorite personalities are definitely intelligence, though. I think intelligence is my favorite by far, because they're just a real egotistical prick. Accept a divine quest from a sphinx is no trifling matter, mortal. In fact, few would survive such an ordeal. This is a chance to prove yourself to an ancient creature of myth and legend. You also look incredibly manly doing it. A quest? Yeah, and Strength really loves being a man, apparently. Indeed. Behind me stands a vault. It opens only to those worthy. Wait, does the vault perhaps have a level 9 spell that I need? She leans her massive head downwards, close enough for you to smell the wine breath. To prove worthy, you must solve my most ancient of riddles. So old it was handed to me when I first stepped inside this chamber, millennia past. I'm pretty great at questing, alright? Oh, I'm sure you are, little one. Your companion whispers to you, you're going on an epic Sphinx quest now? Sure, why not? Not like we're on a job or anything. Snell, shut the fuck up! Snell, shut the fuck up, this is important. No, really, it's important, Snell, you gotta believe me. Convince me. Bro, it could give me esoteric knowledge. If I solve a riddle, I'll get to go inside the mystery vault, bro. He sighs. Solving the tea shop mystery is one thing, but the vault could have anything behind it, even a tea shop. He stares at you. It could even solve the tea shop mystery. He nods slowly. You're an idiot. You'll look very foolish when you solve the mystery by opening the vault. I bet it will. I bet it fucking will, is the funny thing. Look, I won't stand in the way. Just don't waste too much time on it, okay? The Sphinx stares at your companion. A hero must face such adversity during his quest. She laughs quietly to herself and takes a swig of wine. Right, though, the writers did a great job of making them feel like their fatal feature. Have you played this, Mizu? Or are you just getting based on the vibes? Let's see, what I particularly like in my playthrough, since wisdom has been effectively lobotomized, they just don't understand like cues on anything and they just take everything super literally. It's so funny. So what exactly is this Sphinx quest? This is a riddle, the answers of which is not uttered in words, but revealed by action. An esoteric might. Wait, what? That's a DC 19? I don't even know what that was. Okay. She goes quiet and closes her eyes. I just listen. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorched the air. She takes a breath, revealing a wicked grin. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal sting to show your worth. Okay, arcane flare. Arcane flare. Where do we know about arcane flare? That'd be arcane fire, right? PK fire. Twin tongues of flame that scorched the air. A primal string to show your worth. Okay. She then leans in, almost whispering those final words. Folk and gods in thronging herds. A man divine alone howls his words. That is intensely vague and cryptic. I don't get it. The answer is not something you can speak. She uses a massive claw to grab something from her pile of stuff. A tavern key, and tosses it to you. Once you understand this riddle, return here. You can only solve it during daytime, alone. We wouldn't want anyone else accidentally figuring out this riddle, would we? She glances at your goblin companion. I'm not interrupting the job for that. Do it in the morning or something, before you pick me up. The Sphinx chuckles. I never sleep, so you can show up any time after sunrise and before the tavern opens. What have you gotten yourself into? Sounds like this could lead to one hell of a treasure. I need help entering the Pillar of Jor. Now that was not a request I expected today. Might I ask why? It's got to do with the tea shop. I see. How mysterious. The Sphinx ponders your request for a while, sipping on her wine. That is no small request, cleric. Tell you what. Complete the riddle first, the difficult one, and perhaps I will consider it. Okay. Works for me. I'm not gonna flirt with the Sphinx. That's a bad idea, chat. Don't do that. Alright, 1 second. I also have to check a thing or two here real quick, because I may be ending stream soon. We'll see. Do I want to even fuck with these guys over here? I kind of hate them, if I'm being honest. Dude, 26, I know everything about them. This is a shitty kid, but kind of fun too. If he was your peer growing up, he'd be one of those fucking bullies. That's not really a massive negative on his part. Pretty much every well-adjusted kid bullied you. But he's got some conscience growing inside that skull of his. If he is surrounded by good men, he will turn out fine. If he is surrounded by evil, that is what his life will build. He has talent. Not like yours, gods know. But talent nonetheless. You need to push him towards clericship, or at the very least some type of path of wizardry. Without it, he will surely end up hurting someone. With it, he might still hurt people, but only in the name of the law. Wow. What's up with this guy? Boy named after the dwarven word for rock. And then what about... No, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to look. Toli Tulpar. What is going on here? He's the silent type. He thinks before he speaks. He also thinks he's very cool because of this behavior. There's an air of superiority in his body language, in his speech, in his tone. He thinks he's above it all, even his friends. Hopefully he'll stop thinking such things before it bites him in the ass. Alright, I think we're going to try and do the riddle. That's my next objective. What's the riddle again? Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Here, I'm going to take a screenshot so I remember. Alright, screenshot time. Boom. Can you give me a hint about the riddle? Oh, that's not what I wanted to say. Whoops. How about a hint? A hint? You dare stand before a sphinx and ask for a hint. Yes. She puts her barrel of wine and leans in. You can ask questions, but no, you do not get a hint. Damn, it was worth a try. You know, I had to ask. Wow, what a cool distinction, Ols is. Those are really different things. Has anyone else solved this riddle? Her smile fades. Only a handful of folk have been proven worthy to enter the vault during the aeons I've watched over it. I will only tell you more if you prove yourself worthy, of course. I'll have to do some... No. Okay. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air, burrowed deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. Folks and gods and thronging herds, a man divine alone howls his words. Ow. 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 Owie. That hurt a lot. Ow. Oh, I think I have two. I think I have two. Ow. Hello, Gorgo. Hello. All right. I think I have an idea what's vaguely going on. I gotta figure out this fucking riddle, though. So I think the last part of the riddle, the divine thing, is just gonna be us shouting the answer later, I assume? Maybe? I don't know. Where is a place with fire? Arcane flare. Arcane flare. Arcane... Chat, if you were an arcane flare, where would you be? Let's go to the Undercoast Path. Dude, I don't want to make a deal with the creepy abomination. They're gonna fucking murder me, bro. There's no fire down here, is there? Wait. There is a room with stuff, with a little bit of flame, or like lights in it, right? Wait, what did I pick up in my inventory? Ow. Alright, it's ad time, chat, so I will be back after the ads. How about that? All right. I'll see you then. BRB. All right, chat. Ads should be done. Yeah, Misa, if only it were so imagine if it was possible to stop ads just by saying, ah, ads are done. So, hello, Brain Tank. Hello, hello. How's it going? We're trying to solve a riddle right now, and I, quite frankly, am kind of lost on it. But guess what? I'll figure it out. Because we're entering the part of the game where I well and truly... Ow. Owie. I well and truly have to use my brain and think, oh, wait. I wasn't able to select this before. Is this the arcane flare? This might be the arcane flare. You just got a super short ad run? Huh, interesting. Yeah, because for me it said it was going on. See, this is the thing. I don't see anything. I just see that it says ads will be done in 3 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm chilling for a little bit. Very interesting how it works. Twitch works in mysterious ways. Each of the 4 stones around it are glowing. This is the place. Wait, what? What is the place? What? What do you mean? The goblin looks around. Looks clear, I think. The words are ancient, but you understand them. Speak the lost name at the end of the world. Oh, that was that, like, okay. Isik Urum. It is broken. The seal is unleashed. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, I summoned a snail! I summoned a snail! It's a snail? The snail takes a few more steps back. Uh-huh. Hello, snail. How goes it? You then watch as the snail folk of a bygone era slams into the ground. Yeah, snail. See, the thing, Misadon, I don't know if you saw that this part. To summon the snail, I think I had to. I literally unleashed a devil, an elemental, and like some other weird spooky spirit. Like I did some crazy shit to summon this snail. Apparently, flirt with the snail. I'm not gonna flirt with the snail. I swear to God, okay, listen to me. Just this one time. I can't flirt with the snail, Ella. It's not gonna happen. You watch the creature shake and snivel. Its flabby skin. Out. 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 Even if you hit me like this, I will not flirt with the snail. It's not gonna happen. Its flabby skin moving about freely, its glistening surface reflecting the light. That staff. It holds immense power. I look at the staff. It gives off a faint glow in the dark of the temple. A gate-era artifact. Snail has wares if you have flirt. Gang, I'm not gonna flirt with this snail, okay? Most likely, I'm just gonna rob him. If we're being honest, I'm probably just gonna rob him. Like, technically, the snail is actually from, like, a super ancient civilization. So I don't know what's going on with them. A gate-era artifact. A magic staff befitting for a wizard just as yourself. Holy shit, that stick would go for a fortune on the market. Wait, can the staff cast level 9 spells? Could you imagine? Pristine staff of great power left in stasis for millennia? What a payday. I look at the shell. Where a little, just give him a smooch, a little sugar for the slimy boy. Where's Hug at? Is this like a new thing? Like, rather than the princess kissing the frog, it's the wizard kisses the snail? Is that the new fairy tale? Just throw 50 at him. You saying this ancient snail doesn't deserve some love or at least a quick handy? Nah, I ain't giving them shit. I ain't giving them nothing. It is covered in trinkets, books, vials, and all manner of esotericals. There is no doubt. This is a wizard of the highest degree. I approach the strange snail. Hello, snail. Okay, let's see if I can steal from them. Yo, they wouldn't even stop me from stealing it from them, which is crazy. They shine. Hello, snail. The snail lifts its head. Flup. Excuse me? Your mom's a fascist. I still find it so weird that the lore is like, it's not even like an important part of the plot. They just add that to the fucking lore. I'm like, what the fuck? Just a subtle OTPH. I don't even know what that means, and I probably don't want to know. So she's got plump lips. Oh my god, y'all. Sma. So this is what the Tulin cattle look like. Yalu. The snail holds up his open hand, 4 fingers stretched out. Then he twists them with a snap. There we go, that should do better. I always keep a tongue prepared for this specific situation. Nothing as awkward as dealing with foreign dignitaries when you've run out of Jor's slots. I am Isaac Urum, cord puller of the Tulin Empire, master of the path, servant of Jor, lord researcher, and diplomat of peace. That's a lot of words. When the chat turns to smut over a snail. Oh boy. Hello, I am Ragan. Greetings. By Jor, do not worry, Mr. Ragan Cleric. I think you mean Mr. Ragan Wizard. I know it's easy to mess up. I am not poisonous, nor do I hold any ill will. Beware, he is reading your mind. Get out of my head! Get out of my head! Apologies, I cannot help it. What? That's not the kind of phrasing I'd use, but yes. Snell squints and stares at you both. Hold on, is this some kind of wizard thing? I told you, Snell, I'm a wizard! Green One, you do not appear to be as loud on the strings as your iron friend here. The snail leans upon his staff. Snail sees the snail smut in your head? Nah, I have none of that in my head. That's in all your heads. Snail would not be pleased to see that. I cannot help but hear everything you think, Cleric. It was Cleric. No, it's a wizard. It is. And greetings, Tulin. Ah, a celestial. Grand. You spirits sure do come in all shapes and sizes. What a fascinating meeting we have here. Now The snail man looks around, leaning on his staff. My mind seems to have slipped a bit. You couldn't care for some exposition? Be careful what you think. He'll hear it. He hears this right now. Oh fuck, you can hear me talking to my voices. Shit. What's the last thing you remember? Hmm. His eyes retract close to the base as he mutters, "Oh. Oh no. I was on trial. For what? I doomed us all to the flames of Asuth. It was entirely my fault. What did you do?" "I made a deal with the Red One," he mutters to himself, trying to remember. It is difficult to read his body language for obvious reasons. Asuth, the great dragon of Tuilam, our band. I was the diplomat who enacted the plan of peace. We invited the dragon for an exchange of knowledge. Truth is, I was greedy. I wanted those strange draconic techniques. The power words. Dragons use magic through speech alone. Yeah, Snail's very naughty. The spells you cast are derived from those same methods. I was not alone in my hubris, nor did I set this plan in motion myself. But it was me who put it in motion. Since this snail reads my mind, why do I even bother making a choice of what to say? He's listening to this right now, isn't he? Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, strange noises. Please stop. That's fun. Now you can annoy someone with your mind. Sorry. Go on. The snail man looks pointedly around the room. That's what you gotta do, chat. Is, whenever you suspect there's a mind reader around, you gotta just, like, randomly think in your head, just think, get out of my head, and they won't be expecting it, okay? You just always gotta do it every now and then, in case there's any around, Or at least you think he does. It's more of a gurgling sound. I am personally responsible for the deaths of approximately 50,000 to 100,000 of my kin. Cool, good for you, bud. Stare at him. The destruction of Cthulhan cattle. Yes, that is what it was. Asuth went back on his word. He used his unorthodox magic to disrupt our many, many mages. Then he burned the entire city. The towers fell, the screams, the heat. So, like, the thing that ruined all the bases of Norvik, yes. The goblin also stares at the snailman. How did you survive? Oh, the same way the rest did. We were, as they say, lucky. We were not close enough to his anti-magic, and I could resist his stunning shriek. We fled downwards, as Asuth claimed our city as his new throne. We fled even deeper. A few thousand of us, the ones who remained, we hid in... He taps his staff onto the tiles. This place. It is where we kept our foulest prisoners. It became a base in which we organized resistance. Although some were not so keen to work with someone like me, a traitor. So... Oops. Let's see. How long were you down? I accidentally hit like a button on my headset that turned on Spotify. How long were you down here? Months. It did not take long for a divide to build. What did you do here? Debate mostly. One camp were for leaving entirely. Another wanted to turn to Jor for guidance. I ended up wanting to leave with my wonderful Toot. Toot? Oh yeah, the one who was trapped in the door and who we literally ripped the entire existence to shreds. That person? I remember them. He shakes his head. Sorry, no. The voice who won in the end. They sought a more permanent solution to the dragonfire. Through primal pagan magic, I did not believe in that for a second. Okay. So you're telling me I needed to learn primal magic probably for whatever's going on here? That's a bit of a yikes, gang, because, learning primal magic kind of requires me to be good at wisdom. I may or may not have a 5 wisdom. I may or may not have an incredibly underdeveloped wisdom. Might be a bit of a problem. They imprisoned you here for inviting the dragon? That, among other things. I was never the most liked snail on the coast, but they wanted an offering, someone to pin blame. He grows silent, his eyes shiver. This poor snail. He knows what he must face now. Failure. Well, I believe you've been imprisoned here for a very long time. How long? His eyes retract as if he does not want an answer to his questions. When were you imprisoned? I'm assuming an era of dragons occurred after our reign. However, we ruled in the aftermath of the shutting of the gates. It has been 211 years since then, the year when our city burned. During the Fade era, then, not very long after the gates had shut. That is exactly 1016 years ago, bud. Yep, you just came out of cryo sleep. Have fun. He grips his staff. You can hear it creak. Millennia? I was in stasis for millennia? Yep. Yes. Yes, it is. Good gods. His eyes shoot out, aiming around the room. He is alone. His entire folk type has been wiped from the map before humans even held their own kingdoms. I am alone. There is no one, is there? Yep. He shakes his staff, and his stalk eyes wiggle around the air. A faint glow appears as he mutters a few words to himself. I see snails, yes, but scrying. He is seeing hail snails currently. Are the hail snails descendants of your people? No. Is this what you made of yourselves? He stops casting the spell, his head falling towards the grave. What are the hail snails? What? Gurema, you fool! You led them into this primal state? Oh, they devolved. They did devolution. He's the last of his kind, so clearly you gotta smooch him. It's a limited time event. I am not smooching the snail. Also, it's kind of like, wouldn't it be kind of manipulative to do that when they're in such an emotional state? Checkmate, chat. I got you there. Degenerative, frozen, monstrous beasts. Hail snails. Realize his terrible fate. He lets out a mad laugh. They wanted to use the primal cold to break the dragon's fire. That bastard, he led them into pure de-evolution. It is a nightmare. Oh, by Jor's grace, tell me, how did you break the stasis I was in? Your angel companion steps in. Her last thought was of you, Isk-Urum. I think it. You cleric. Out. Rotating out. Imagine it in your head now, please. All right. Ow. I will think about my talk at the iron door. Hoot Irma, she was in an iron door? They threw her in an iron door for millennia? His eyes droop down towards the ground. I cannot believe it. My actions it ruined my people. I brought flames. I divided them. Yet in the end, I did not even pay for my crimes with my life. Instead, I pay by standing here, alone among the ashes. Ieskani? And Toot, she endured the most torturous existence known to sentience, her soul slowly withering inside of that hellish prison. Yet after all that, in the end, she... Like Etir said, her last thoughts were only of you. He lets out a grunt, then a painful howl. Then he roars, roar, a deep bubbling scream, causing his glistening flesh to vibrate. I stare at the snail. When he stops, he takes his staff and slams it into the ground. I reject this string. Jor's words do not speak of a humble nature. He broke off this world to make his own path. I will do exactly the same. Wait, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna do anything crazy, right? You sound like you're about to do something crazy. The snail's going mad. Fair, really. What are you talking about? He lets out a gust of wind. I can fix this. What? Oh no, he's gonna do something crazy. Yeah, what? Fix what? My dear Toot was destroyed by an iron prison that leaves her soul in pieces, not quite dead, not quite in existence. But I am cord puller Isak-Urum. I wield strings like Jor himself. From this day on, I will no longer seek power, nor achieve greatness, nor will I build empires. I will only perform one miracle. I will resurrect her, then I will pay her back 1,000-fold for her unyielding love and devotion. Yes, the Celestial clenches her fists. Pay your debt, Tulin, to her. With everything I have. What kind of resurrection, though? True resurrection, not easy, especially when the strings are this weak. True resurrection, a 9th level legendary spell, capable of bringing anyone dead back to life, if you believe the legends. There are many different tales with different takes on the restrictions, but generally, you cannot use it on a creature that has been dead for over 200 years. An Ebb, surely. What, can you tell me more about... Yes, anything you need. I am in your debt as well, of course. Do you have like a 9th level spell scroll that I can have? He mutters to himself and leans on his staff. I now have a time limit, cleric. In 200 years, the fragments of my wife's soul will leave this place forever. Thus I can no longer resurrect her. And it will take time, but it can be done. Anything can be done. It is possible, improbable, but possible, even for a snail. Fuck yes, you need anything, just let me know. Damn, Snell, when did you get so invested? Thank you, my green friend. That is very romantic, Izigurum. I wish you luck on your venture. Thank you, Celestial. It's funny. Last time I saw one of your kind, it was on a battlefield. I prefer this. As do I. Oh boy, question time. Hey, Snail, what are you voting in the election? I know you just woke up for after a millennia-long stasis, but what are you voting? The what? We have our first ever election soon. You should vote. Voting, hold on. Do you select your leaders through election? Yeah, we're starting to do that now. Fascinating. Is this an elective system for landowners or mages, or everyone gets a vote? Pretty much, at least. You just need to live here. Huh. I did not expect something like that. Such a liberal paradise. Well, I am not one to judge these futuristic ideas. I must investigate. Tell me more. What do you vote for? Kings? Governments? Parties with different ideologies on how to run the city of Norvik? Parties? How glib. There's the nationalists. They want to rule the city in the memory and spirit of the old god King Earth. You don't really know who that is. He kind of came after you, but that's just, it's a thing. That is amazing. He lets out a blubbering noise. Listen, to all of this, I would say I would actually vote for the Arcanists. Seems like they would be the most esoterically attuned party, which fits my ideals. However, in the experience, a group of wizards working together tends to end up being quite the mess, but my heart still leans in that direction. I'll have to go see for myself once it is time for that election. He lets out more blubbering noises. Oh, did I only get to pick one? I was gonna just tell him about a bunch of different ones. The snail's laughing at democracy. Rude. He has a fair reason to laugh at it. It will most likely be a messy process. At the very least, the snail has good taste. His eyes behold you knowingly. You have any spell scrolls I can have? Oh, only a dozen or so. They're deep in my shell. Any you're interested in? Do you perhaps have astral projection? I can dig in and get one for you. He retracts one of his arms into his shell. Ew. How about a scroll of astral projection? Ah, you have particular tastes. That is not a spell you are even able to cast, not without great unreliability. So is that a no? Of course not. Enjoy. Yes, we got the scroll, chat. We got the fucking scroll. Let's go. Enjoy. He hands you the tingling paper with a casual nod, and the intense power rushing through your arm as you grab it. It will tear a hole in you. Grasp it with your life. Considering the state of the world, it would not have the intended effect even if you did know how to cast it, so it's useless to me anyhow. But I suggest studying it. What about Aura Vitality? That's an oldie. I was never too good at it myself, but it saved my life a number of times. Anything else? He stares at me. Now, you seem to have thought of all I am able to hand you, except... Don't go on here. Don't leave me hanging. I'm acting really greedy, aren't I? Maybe I shouldn't. Except what? Isaac shrugs while slowly retracting his entire head. Slowly. I'm gonna watch. Soon the snail is no more, and you are standing in front of a shell. Well, that's convenient. Then as slowly as he retracted, he begins to leave the shell. Scroll of smoochy smooch, we ain't smooching. That is number one rule, never smooch. I went over the esoteric attunements from your mind cleric. It appears the only spell scroll you do not actively think about here, that you also do not actively have memorized, would be this. Scroll of Wish. What the fuck? He hands you a spell scroll. By Jor and all his disciples, what are you holding in your hands? Yo, we got Wish? I'm sorry, what? Isaac-Urim, that is a very dangerous item. That's not like the Wish, is it? That is Wish. However, you cannot memorize it at your current level of attunement. Attempting to cast it directly would also take, even at your level of talent, weeks and maybe months. But this is Wish. I could just wish for anything. Wish is one of the few non-epic tier spells that can wildly shape reality. It is arguably the most powerful and versatile of all 9th level spells. It is so powerful, in fact, that it can easily cripple anyone who does manage to cast it. The only truly safe usage of Wish is to use its power to ask for the casting of another spell, 8th level or lower. You can also ask for a weaker effect, which would be proven to be safe at times, but if you word your wish poorly and the effect is broader than you intended, then you are, as they say, screwed. That sounds awesome. The snail man lets out a blubbering sigh. I received that spell scroll from a djinn I fought alongside during the war. It was a reminder to stay humble. You hear that, chat? Stay humble. Stay humble. For those who use it for personal gain, use it as a shortcut to greatness, always end up in ashes. I did not always listen to such ideas, but when it comes to that spell, I have great respect for it. One of my teachers, the great Rit Yos, used its power to shatter the hearts and souls of 100 ice devils. In the process, her entire being turned into a permanent esoteric pocket. I'm giving this spell scroll not to use cleric, you mean wizard, but as a reminder of your immortality. Okay. He makes a particular mouth movement. I like your fire, it burns bright. Anything else? I'm good. I'm a wizard too, by the way. Are you now? Good to hear. It does make sense. Someone with a head so attuned to the string is usually either dipped in a soul river at birth or a powerful mage of some type. Smooch the snail, he's nah, he's not helpful enough. Nah. Give him a Santiago thank you, wish for a kiss? Nah. Or crazy, maybe I'm all three. Wonderful, I was hoping this era of yours was acclimated for magic use as well, despite the past. Are all snail folk wizards? Oh no, but many yes. The Tulin are naturally acclimated to string manipulation. It's a gift we were granted by Jor as we arrived on the Great Whale's back. What spell levels can you cast? 9th, by regular limits, I had the ability to wield a 10th level spell at one point, although it was of course a weak 10th level spell. I called it Isaac Urim's Epic Traversal. It basically targeted a road, up to 100 miles of it, repairing any cracks, making the journey smooth and wonderful, and generally increasing your movement speed by double. Your greatest magic was to fucking fix roads? Goddamn. Useful, no more than that. Not exactly epic. Useful, yes, as you could imagine. We kept to the more grounded magics for anything above 9th. The actual world-changing spells would simply get you popped out of existence. Wait, what? Popped out of existence? Yes, I named esoteric events. They apparently began during the Gate War, but grew worse during my lifetime. Irresponsible usage of magic could easily cause them to appear. Some call it wild magic, some call it Jor's curse. Oh yeah, we have that all the time. Oh, do you now? I suppose the tongue spell translated it properly then. What 9th level can you cast? Nothing currently. When I was cast into stasis, Gurima made sure to place an ebbing seal on me. That is a curse, essentially. It makes me unable to cast anything above, in this case, 3rd level spells. So currently, I'm not so powerful at all. But do not fret, it will fade in time. Hopefully, as the ley lines grow stronger all around this ebb. Okay, that's all my wizard talk. I'm gonna talk to them more later. Chat, I think this is where we save it for today, and then next time, probably tomorrow, I get more info from the snail dude, and then I try and solve that riddle, and then we enter the giant pillar. Yep, that's the plan. That is the plan. Okay, you hear me? You got that, boss? But I think we should call it quits here, and I guess I'll raid out. I got some stuff I gotta go do. Let's see. Let's go. You know what? Actually, I don't think I've ever raided Rain before. I'm gonna go raid him. This is my chance. This is my chance, gang. Because I usually am after him, so we're gonna go raid Rain. Be normal, chat. All right, be normal. That's my one requirement. I will see you all later. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you. All right. And then yeah, I'll be back tomorrow around the same time, 6 or 7-ish p.m. Probably playing this, maybe finishing the game. So if you don't want any ending spoilers, don't show up, all right? This is your warning, don't show up. But anyways, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to hit the button now. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye 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 bye